S.com.
Heavy fighting continues in eastern Ukraine in the battle for control of a key city.
Avdiivka's location, just to the north of Russian-occupied Donetsk city, is strategically significant. It's been on the front line since 2014, when Russia fomented the first fighting in eastern Ukraine. Russia seems intent on cutting its supply route while pummeling the town with artillery and airstrikes. In defending it, Ukrainian forces have inflicted heavy Russian casualties, but sustained losses of their own. A US-based think tank, the Institute for the Study of War, has assessed that Russian forces have made some advances recently in areas northwest of the town and in an important industrial zone to its southeast.
The BBC's Danny Aberhart. Labor unions staging a day of protests and strikes across the Czech Republic. They're voicing opposition to the government's package of cuts and austerity measures meant to get the ballooning deficit under control. News and analysis, townhall.com. The National Retail Federation expects shoppers to spend more this year than last, but at a somewhat slower pace.
The nation's largest retail trade group forecasts U.S. holiday sales increasing year over year from November through December, but only by 3 to 4% compared with a 5.4% jump in 2022. Shopping trends have changed with the popularity of Cyber Monday. Early tallies indicate American shoppers could be ahead of the forecast. According to Adobe Analytics, consumers online spent more than $5.5 billion on Thanksgiving Day alone. And for the first 23 days of November, online consumers spent more than $76 billion, up 6.8% from the same period a year ago. George Williams reporting.
Supporting nonprofits on Giving Tuesday this year could have a bigger impact than usual. That's because nonprofits and industry groups say donations so far are down compared with previous years. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. So they go guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy post-Thanksgiving Monday, everybody. We made it through the holiday.
I don't know about you, but every single day for the past 3 days, Thanksgiving notwithstanding, has felt like Sunday.
Yeah?
Like I've had to out loud remind myself it's not Sunday until it was, and then I had to remind myself it's Sunday. I have no idea how I'm going to keep track of days if I didn't have this place to come to. I have no idea how I would do it.
How would you do if you didn't have a job to go to?
Nope, unless I had like a word-a-day calendar or something on the wall, I'd have no way to keep track of what day it is.
To be honest, though, but if I think of it like that, had it not, then I wouldn't care. Like
that's if I didn't have a place to go to.
Yeah, I mean,
every day could be Sunday.
I mean, I could get why some retirees are kind of like, is this today Thursday? I have no idea what today is. I could see myself having that same problem had I not a job to go to.
There's a quote, famous quote. I can't remember who it was that said it, but said, "Part of my job as a morning radio DJ is to tell you what day it is."
Yeah,
and that's a big part of it.
It is. You ain't wrong. And half the time I'm like, is it Tuesday or Thursday? I can't remember. So. But happy Monday. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend.
How was yours?
Good. Had a good weekend. Good Thanksgiving day. Had
You had
course-
family come down, right?
Yeah, Kim's parents came and spent a couple days with us, and on Thanksgiving Day we had Kim's folks, Gene and Lana, boss friend came. We had Thanksgiving with us. She brought a delicious pumpkin roll, which I love the pumpkin roll.
Nice.
Like I've been eating. I ain't gonna lie, I need to stop this. Pecan pie and pumpkin roll. That's been my together dessert
Heck
for
yeah,
the last
dude.
couple days.
That's the reason for the season. Everything else about being an adult in the holidays is bleak and dark and nonsense and paying out the wazoo for everything. Enjoy yourself a nice confection.
But I ain't gonna lie, I'm at the point where I am so sick of Thanksgiving food, and I've been eating it every day since Thursday.
According to food scientists, today is the day you need to go ahead and wrap it up, because after today, generally speaking, unless you're going to freeze it, it probably ain't going to be great no more.
Well, I'm still got quite a bit of turkey left. Dressing, so much dressing. Some sweet potatoes and some okra left. Oh, and a few celery sticks and deviled eggs. The rest is pretty much done.
Dude, get rid of the deviled eggs. At this point, those are gut bombs.
I had one yesterday.
Oh, that's rough, man. That makes my stomach turn a little bit.
Yeah, I had. Well, I got to at least eat some more turkey. I can't.
Okay.
I can't get rid of the turkey.
This is what they said. According to, again, USDA food scientists, they said if you're going to go at it after today, definitely avoid the meat and the dairy. These are the days you need to wrap those two things up.
So all meat or
your
dairy.
deviled eggs, your turkey, you should probably go ahead and either wrap it up or see if the cat's hungry. Because
what if I get through lunch today with it?
I mean, more power to you. I'm just saying you might get a little intestinal distress later in the week. Something to bear in mind.
My life's one big intestinal distress.
I knew what I was getting into when I started working in morning radio. My life was going to be intestinal distress. It's how I roll.
Oh, man. But I had a good weekend. But, yes, had a great Thanksgiving. Saturday, I went to the Roswell Community Little Theater and judged for Santa's Talent Search. We had a great time there.
Did we find talent?
We did.
Ah.
I believe I'm bad with names and everything, but Marie Manning won the full talent search.
Because she's fully talented. Heck yeah, go Miss Marie. She's my son's art teacher also.
Oh, okay. Well, she won, did an amazing job. We had all the talent was great. The boys and girls, men and women that all performed did a great job on Saturday. I'll tell you, the one thing that because I played the Grinch.
Mm-hmm. No. You were the Grinch.
I was the Grinch, and the Grinch is the Grinch.
Now, do you go full voice with it?
Oh, I do go.
My say, do you follow?
I do talk in a gruffle.
Do you speak
voice.
in couplets?
Yes, I do gruffle. But
see, if I was going to play the Grinch, everything I said, every criticism, every judgment, I would have to, before I said it, come up with a rhyme.
Well, and I didn't
you gotta
rhyme.
do it Seussically.
Well, I didn't rhyme, but my thing is I'm trying to be mean, but not too mean, because some of these are kids.
Well, sure.
You know what I mean?
But that's you could be Grinchy without being like,
So I do.
Your mother's up.
I don't call people, but here's one that got universally booed. Probably was too soon, but I had to do it.
Oh no!
I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to do it. The room needed to have it happen.
Okay, all right.
It was this young girl did an amazing job. She's like 11, and they each sang 2 songs, and her second song was called Tennessee Orange.
Okay, Megan Maroney, right? Great song.
So I looked at her. I said, "You got to know your audience. They don't want to hear about Tennessee Orange around here." This was Saturday night, by the way.
Shortly after.
They want to hear about Bulldog Orange around here. They're big Bulldog Orange fans. And this is right after Roswell lost the state championship to Artesia. I got a boo. I got a boo.
Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, good. I'm actually glad it wasn't like, dig at Matthew Perry or something.
No.
That's what my mind was like, oh, God, what did you say?
I went.
Okay,
I went,
fair enough.
I went to.
That's pretty good. Oh, and by the way, congratulations to the Bulldogs and big ups to the Roswell Coyotes. I mean, they put on an amazing game on Saturday and an
not the
unstoppable
outcome they
season.
wanted, but they had a great season.
Can I just point out that both the Roswell Coyotes and the Artesia Bulldogs end the season with the same record?
That's right.
Just saying.
That's right. They did, and the one loss and to each is to each other.
Is to each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is.
So you know what this means? We need to have Hell in a Cell next weekend, a rubber match.
Yeah.
Now that they got one win apiece.
That's right.
I think this whole thing needs to get thrown down in a steel cage.
Won't have time this weekend, though, because they got the Wool Bowl Friday, and then I think that Red-Green game's on Saturday.
It is.
Which is the All-Star, high school All-Star games, yeah.
Red-Green will be flying in on Friday.
Yeah.
Really exciting. From Winnipesaukee.
Yes. But that'll be in Artesia at the Bulldog Bowl next weekend, in which we will have video of coverage and all that for you.
That's
so,
right.
Red-Green game. I did. So there'll be a few Coyotes, I think, and Bulldogs in the Red-Green game. You know, when you state champs and second runner-up, you tend to have some players that are worthy of playing in the state all-star game.
Yes.
So we'll definitely, but we'll have that for you. But, yes, won't have time this weekend. I'll have to do the rubber match 2 weeks or something like that. But,
it'll be a sack race.
Yeah.
Potato sack race.
Never mind. Like I say, it could be like that episode of Big Bang Theory. We ever seen that one where it's Sheldon and what's his name? The fellow scientist with the speech impediment. I can't remember his name. He's not one of the main guys. He's one of the side.
Are you talking about Quipke?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Kripke. Thank you. So it was
why I say Quipke.
They were trying to determine who got an office or something, and so they didn't decide. Like they said, well, we can't do trivia because you have an eidetic memory, and they said, so let's do something we're equally bad at, and they picked sports. And so they started with like free throws, and neither one could make a three. So finally, it was like who could bounce the ball the highest. But that's how we're going to determine.
There you go.
The
Who could bounce the ball? By the way, I need to point something out. I took advantage of a Cyber Monday deal early on Sunday and got 12 months of Hulu for 99 cents a month. So I finally have Hulu. And I got caught up a little bit on the toys that built America.
Oh, what about Letterkenny and?
I'm getting there. I'm
Shoresy.
I'm working my way down. I've also got some things to say about the Albert Brooks documentary, which we'll get into. We have a guest here, so we don't have time. But one thing I found fascinating is in one of the, I think it was like the second episode of the Toys That Built America, they were talking specifically about the guy who invented the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And how the Super Bowl is the reason that we call the Super Bowl the Super Bowl. Because the guy who invented the Super Bowl, or the guy who created the National Football Championships is what they were going to call it originally. He came home and saw his kid playing with the Super Bowl, and he just thought about it for a while, and he's like, yeah, that's what we're going to call it. So the first one was called the Super Bowl because of the Super Bowl.
Now it's trademarked, and no one's allowed to say it.
That's right. Don't you touch it. It's our bowl. I can say it all right now. I just can't say it in February.
That's right.
Just caught us like 17 violations.
I like to, get a big, delicious bowl of soup, and I say, man, that's a super bowl.
That makes me so sad. That was one of my favorite fundraisers in Roswell was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Remember that? $40, and you go and you get a bowl. You could take the bowl with you. It was like I think it was like a decade ago they stopped doing this, and it was all you can eat soup while you were there, and you got to keep the bowl.
They should call it SOUPER ... bowl.
That's what it was. It was the Super Bowl. I wonder if maybe they got sued by the National Football League or something. Yeah, like legally speaking, we can't do this anymore.
It's a great idea.
We had our hand forced.
Yeah.
So,
or if you said soup or bowl. I don't know. There's a way to work around that to fall in the legal parameters.
But the first thing I did watch was defending your life, or his life.
Oh yeah, the Albert Brooks documentary.
The Albert Brooks documentary, and I had to stop the documentary because I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
So his dad, Harry Einstein.
Oh, about him literally dying?
When he died on stage, the funniest thing on the planet was they're like, the show must go on. We need something as a distraction. So they put up Tony Martin, who at the time had a #1 hit song. And that #1 hit song was called There's No Tomorrow.
How ironic.
That's maybe one of the most unintended funny pieces of television I've ever seen in my entire life.
Sure. It's movie worthy.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's so movie worthy.
When Mel Brooks was like, What is he doing? If Mel Brooks can't even get the joke, that's when you know you messed up.
It was a pretty good documentary in it.
It was great, yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Only negative is Rob Reiner did it, but past that,
I mean, I can get past that. It was enjoyable.
Well, if Rob Reiner is talking about that and he's not talking about anything else, then that was okay. I'm like, all right, I can deal with this. And
one thing that did kind of blow my mind is I didn't realize how much Carl Reiner specifically looked up to Albert Brooks, like how he's his son's friend. He would just come around or whatever, and he would put his son's friend up to bits.
Yeah,
like that's a supportive dad,
and that's just it. Albert Brooks has always been that like the comedian's comedian. Like the public thinks he's aight, but like comedians are like way enamored with Albert Brooks. Like he's the guy that makes the comedians laugh.
Yeah,
and I always liked that. Now I drew him because of my age. I missed really a lot of his stand-up. I was a little young for that, but I caught him in the movies. That's why I know him so well. You know, Defending Your Life, the one where they go on the trip with the RV. I can't remember what that one's called, with the girl from Airplane.
Yeah, I can't remember any of the names.
But anyway,
but yeah, no, it was a really cool documentary. One of the funniest ones was the movie Mother, which I've never seen.
It was a good movie. I remember that one. Yeah.
The line that got me, and I think I might use this with my own mom, is the next time she says "I love you," I just want to go, "I know you think you do."
No, check out all of Albert. The Muse, the Scout, Mother.
Yeah, the Muse. I didn't realize how many like heavy hitters were in the Muse.
Oh yeah, the Muse, the Scout, Mother, Defending Your Life, all 10s. Love all those movies. So anyway, we already get our show.
Yeah,
going.
We're rambling.
We do have a full slate for you. We're going to start off here in just a few minutes. We're going to have Ward 1 City Councilor Christina Arnold join us, and also Mike Espiritu with the Chaves County Roswell EDC. We're going to talk about, of course, the Reno races, their visit coming up this week, where they are determining the new home for the Reno air races. We're one of 6 cities in the running here. So
come on.
They'll give us an update and talk all about what is going to happen here with the visit and all that.
Our name even fits the rhyme scheme.
There you go. We don't have to change the acronym or nothing.
Heck no.
In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to have the ladies from Healthy Kids Chaves County join us. I don't know if it's just Paula Camp or Becky Joyce. Sometimes they bring Shelley Montgomery with the Dexter Food Services. So we'll be joined by the ladies from Healthy Kids Chaves County, get an update from them. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we'll have John and Crystal Noble from Roswell Seed. They pop in once a month, give us an update on what's happening there at Roswell Seed. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local, national variety, your Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do anything else, let's check out the weather. I'm going to scarf down what's left of my turkey.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll stay a little on the cool side today with some cloud cover. We have a weak low-pressure trough moving through, about 50 for the afternoon high. Some lingering cloud cover and low 30s for the overnight hours, and then we should get a little bit more sunshine on Tuesday, and it will be a bit warmer. Highs back in the upper 50s. We're in the low 60s, and we're looking at sunshine for Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 30 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 66%. Winds currently out of the north at 5 miles per hour. For today, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. Expecting highs in mid-50s, 54 officially. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy, but gradually clearing. Expecting an overnight low of 31, so we're going to be just a hair under freezing. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, sunny, 58 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Tuesday night, we are looking at mostly cloudy skies with an overnight low of 34. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, gradually clearing with a high of around 61. Thursday, they're saying there's a chance, 20% chance of rain, partly cloudy. Highs right around 60, and then partly cloudy, 57 on Friday there. And it looks like we'll be floating in the 60s for the weekend. All right, 7:22. We're going to take a 3.5-minute commercial break with the Roswell Livestock Report. Kicking off the break there with Smiley Wooten, and then we will talk Reno Air Races on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good November run following Thanksgiving with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, light yearlings, bred heifers. We expect to sell 1,500 head. Break it down like this: 250, 275 weighing cows and bulls, 125, 150 pairs and bred cows, 1,100, 1,150 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 110 Holstein weigh cows off one dairy, also 60 fancy bred heifers. Three Rivers Cattle Company here at, over at Three Rivers, New Mexico. Reputation, quality, set, one brand, keeping heifers, bred to Angus bulls, raised in the mountains, good flesh, gentle. Fancy set of bred heifers. 89 calves, Rankin Frost, Carlsbad, excellent quality black white face, red white face, and white face English crossbred calves. Cattle weaned 35 days, 2 rounds of shots, 375, 500 pounds. 53 calves, Mailey Landed Cattle Company at Carlsbad, excellent quality black white face and Charolais crossbred calves. Bovishield Gold 7-way, 650 pounds. 45 calves, Mr. Tracy McNeil at Carlsbad, excellent quality black and Charolais crossbred calves, shots at Brandon, 600 pounds. 64 calves, Mr. James Schaefer, Artesia, New Mexico, excellent quality black white face, red white face English cross calves, mostly weaned, 45 days, Bovishield Gold 7-way, in-force 400, 500 pounds, and 91 calves, the Baylor Ranch, Sierra Blanca, Texas. Good quality black Angus and Brangus cross calves, thin to medium condition, 300, 450 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sale pairs bred cows 10:30 to 10:45. Be selling calves and yearlings about 11 to 11:30. We expect to sell 1,500 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Hey, Freddie Sosa here. Are you tired of high interest rates? For the entire month of November, Richland has 1.9% financing for up to 36 months on all 2023 Buick Enclave, Envisions, and Encore GXs. We also have 1.9% financing on all 2023 Chevy Silverados. But even better, 0.9% financing on all 2023 GMC Sierra 1500s for up to 36 months. And don't forget, up to 25% of our inventory has Black Friday pricing. We also have the largest used car inventory in southeastern New Mexico. So rush on down to Richland Motors at 2601 West 2nd in Roswell.
Fall time is almost here, and the holidays will be here before you know it. The Calico Cow invites you to move on into the cow and check out the new holiday fabrics arriving daily and take advantage of a huge sale on Brothers sewing machines now through the end of the year. Get free lessons, maintenance, and a first-year cleaning included. Fall into savings at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop now at their new location, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company, but come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, of course, Christine Arnold, City Councilor, Ward 1, and Mike.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Mike Espiritu with the Roswell and Chaves County EDC. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, you guys have a busy day today. A busy couple days, I should say.
Nonstop, yes.
Potentially, an exciting opportunity could be sealed, or at least strengthened over this next couple days here. For folks not familiar, we actually, you guys were on about a month ago or so here, and kind of gave us an update. I'm sure people, if you've been kind of paying attention to the world you live in here in Roswell, have noticed in the last couple months there's an opportunity that Roswell could really take advantage of here. The Reno Air Races, which is a big deal airplane racing. It's kind of like NHRA or something like that, but for airplanes. And they have been doing their Reno Air Races in Reno, Nevada for years now. Well, next year, 2024, is the last year that the Reno Air Races will call Reno their home. They are looking for a new home. Reno can no longer accommodate their racing. So there are 6 cities in the United States right now that are the 6 finalists for the new Reno Air Races. And Roswell is one of those 6 cities that are in the running here. Now, this week, today and tomorrow, we're going to have the Reno Air Races crew, the people that are that run the organization. They're going to be coming and spending some time in Roswell and basically seeing our amenities, seeing our town, and seeing everything we have to offer, and making a determination if we are that one city that they want to set up the Reno, which we hope is the Roswell Air Races here. Is that's pretty much what we're talking about here?
That's actually it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Kind of, I guess.
The overview.
The overview, yeah. So, yes, we've been very fortunate, Mike and I, to actually be a part of this for the last, I think it's been 9 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 9 months. Mm-hmm. And we are very stoked about today because this has kind of been the pinnacle of what we've been
all
aiming
of this
at.
Last 9 months of
about
negotiating,
so, yes.
talking, visiting, working,
all
numbers.
The effort, all the time.
The test is kind of the next couple days. Here.
Yeah, this is proofs in the pudding on what we've accomplished, and so we're very excited that they're here. Well, I was up at 3, ready to get it going.
Good going. So kind of talk about what the itinerary is for them for the next couple of days. What kind of things are they going to want to look at? What are some of the boxes that we need to check for them these next couple of days? You think?
Okay. Well, so basically, we worked very hard on an itinerary and creating teams to hit different areas and to give tours. So they'll be in around 11 today.
Okay.
And we'll start off with lunch and a briefing.
Nice.
And we have a whole group of people presenting on.
So we're going to hit them with green chili as soon as they land.
No, that's in the morning.
Oh, okay.
I made sure. I was like, we've got to have green chili.
Well, they can't leave
New
Mexico.
We're having breakfast burritos with green chili.
Nice. Very good.
So we'll do briefings, basically updating them on several different areas from, I guess, professionals in our community that have been with the team the whole 9 months. And then we have a tour of the airport for today. We have a community welcome reception this evening, and then a dinner with some state officials and representatives. And so today's
so some of the
packed.
folks outside of our community that also would like to see the Reno Air Races in New Mexico is its home. So
and I actually, let me tell you something. So who we're meeting is the association, the Reno Air Racing Association. Okay. The actual races are called the National Air Championships.
Okay, so is this like kind of the board of directors or whatever for them, so to speak? Or
yes, this is their board.
And they're the ones that establish the rules, the whole, how the Reno Air Races operate.
Correct.
Basically.
There's 8 of them.
Gotcha.
Yes, and it's actually their site team, so the whole board is much more than that.
Gotcha.
But the chairman of the board and the vice chairman will be here, which is they have not been to all the other communities yet, so we're pretty excited about them coming to Roswell.
Okay, so we kind of get a little special visit with some of them.
Well, we hope so. I can't tell you the team that Christina put together and the work we've done these past 9 months. It's almost like having a baby. We've worked so hard. We've had so many. I mean, I wouldn't say we had thousands of meetings, but we've had a lot of meetings and a lot of work to get us there. And the people here in Roswell, the team really came together. To get us to where we're at today.
I kind of just I'm thinking, from their perspective, I got a feeling, like you said, there's six cities that are in the running here. But let's face it, there's a lot of boxes that we check that some of the others don't. We already come with a notoriety. We're an internationally known city, the size of 50,000. That's something that's a selling point for something like that.
Especially our airport.
The Reno Air Races, when everyone knows Reno. Reno's, again, I think one of their names is the biggest little city in the world or something. They have a moniker that's very similar to that. Roswell is, kind of the, in the same in that, but even bigger as far as known on a stage like that. So instantly that brings a credibility there. And then obviously the fact that we have a former military base here that has the largest runway in the world and also possesses a lot of open air and a lot of space and a lot of amenities that the Reno Air Races need. I got a feeling just on a hunch, they're equally excited for us to check all the boxes as much as they want. You know what I mean? I think for them, like it makes a lot more sense to go to Roswell. I mean, the jokes aside about not changing the acronym and all that, but I mean, legitimately, I think as far as their marketing to their amenities and things like that, I think they really want Roswell to be, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, sure they're going to give all the cities a fair shake, but I got a funny feeling they really want Roswell to check all the boxes because it adds a little bit of international flair just by the fact that it's sitting in Roswell, New Mexico. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so I'm going to guess that they're going to look here like, we really want this to work because this is the one we want to pick.
Well, I think we do check all the boxes, and that's what, we did that at the very beginning.
Yeah.
We said,
yeah,
can we really, we got a group of folks together at the very beginning. We had a meeting. We said, can we really pull this off?
Sure.
And we all had questions.
Sure. And there's still people out talking, thinking, do we have this? Do we have that? But I look at this as a challenge because I think we do check all the boxes. There might be one or two boxes that we're a little short in. But to me, that's okay because that now lights the fire. This gives me the Kennedy speech. This gives me, and what I mean by that is Kennedy saying we're going to land on the moon by the end of the decade kind of thing and light that fire a little bit. So the boxes we don't check, now they just say, well, guess what? We better check them by 2025 because that's when they're going to be here. And so I to me, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of a challenge to say.
I call it a spark of opportunity because my theory is the minute we actually, declared the winners, then you'll see that entrepreneurial spirit in this area just take off.
Sure.
Because we've actually taken a lot of time to visit the other communities to get them engaged because this is not just a Roswell.
Yeah, it's got a bigger footprint than Roswell.
The whole southeastern region will be engaged and benefit from it.
Absolutely.
So that's why we're very excited. And we're going to work really hard to convince them to come here.
And to be honest, this has the potential to be the size of, if not bigger than your International Balloon Fiesta up in Albuquerque. This we're talking equally size, if not bigger than that. This has that potential to, when you have not only one but two international events in your state that the world looks at, and we already got the balloons. I think this could be the balloons of the South. The Reno air races.
But we pull from so many other communities that Reno doesn't pull from.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by 5 bases, military bases. They don't pull from 5 military bases. And, and especially the Air Force bases, they get kind of goo-goo, those pilots do, about these races, Well,
so, and there's a reason why we have these many military bases around here. It's because we have optimum flying. And that's the part that we can't replicate. We can't throw up 20 hotels to overlook. We can't do that. Our air and the airspace in the open, that's why we have 3 military installations in this state and had a 4th, and most of them serve a flying mission in one way, shape, or form because they can do a lot of training out here. They can do a lot of that kind of stuff. And that checks a lot of the same boxes the Reno air races folks do. They're racing high-speed planes. They can't do that over a populated city. Things like that.
And don't forget Fort Bliss. I mean, right there on the board. And they do all their flying in where? New Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
So they have an air CAF and big aviation brigade. So
yeah, we
count them as the 5th military base.
Absolutely,
they're very close.
Yeah, and I'm not sure their mission now, but back when I served, that was a big Patriot missile base. For people that know Gulf War and that age, that was the Patriot missile was like the hero of the Gulf War, and guess where a lot of those came out of? El Paso. But that's for folks that remember that that's kind of a lot of them. I'm not sure now. It's been a few years since I've done military, but back in the 90s and stuff, that was what they did.
Still a huge base.
Yeah, it's still a big base.
Big base.
To go back to your pulling people and becoming the size of the balloon, fiesta, there is actually potential for that because one of the beautiful things about this association is most of the people that go to they've gone every year and they'll travel from afar.
Absolutely.
So it won't be like coming here and trying to get a new visitor base or guest base. They'll have the old, and we'll bring in Texas, Arizona, and all of our surrounding states, which may not have been a part or knew about it. So it's
really
a whole
big,
new audience.
It's growth for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've already got a well-established community with great racers and they got a marketing group and have done their thing. They've got, but like you said, it brings other entities in, and it kind of puts a bigger spotlight on them, which means more spotlight, more interest, more racers, more audience, more of everything, and that's what they want
and we
too.
provide more room because what they're currently working with is not anywhere near what we can offer.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So as far as like the community and stuff, obviously if you kind of see a group of people walking around town over the next couple of days, you can probably, and they all kind of look like they're, together and doing things. You can probably take a stab that's going to be our Reno Air Races group visiting and touring things.
Well, we've got
that.
signs everywhere too. We've
Yes.
got banners on the bridge going over by the Institute, and we've got stuff everywhere. And
So really our biggest thing as the community is just be what you normally do. Be the welcoming group you are, like when we have UFO Festival. Oh, by the way, that's another big thing we have here. But just like that, be the ambassadors that local Roswell folks are. If they
Well, they call themselves, Mike, the September family, because every September is when they have the big national championship air race.
Okay.
And when they do that, they have a very much family-oriented culture. And that's who we are. That's Roswell. That's how our folks are here. And I think that's a perfect piece about how we fit so well into what they believe.
Sure, absolutely.
Love of family, love of God. It's a small-knit group, but it's not a small-knit group.
Sure.
They're small-knit because they have the same values.
They got that
we
large
share.
in people, but tight in the way they handle their business, and very, very family-like. And let's face it, they're when you have a community of when you're involved in an activity that isn't like something that everyone knows about, like football, everybody knows about football, so everybody's got their things of football, but Reno Air Races is kind of a unique thing. There isn't a lot of avenues for you to race airplanes in, you know what I mean?
Well, it's the only FAA-accredited air race in the country.
Yeah.
It's the only one.
So that creates its own little niche group. And anytime you have something niche like that, it creates stronger bonds and that community of which you speak. Kind of like the only place that in the world where we're known for aliens and things. We have our same little close-knit kind of community. And so, yes, I think, like you said, we share values. They're just family people just like we are, and they love their thing and love their racing, and they're going to come when they do come, for the hopefully to race here. You're going to see the community there, and they all love, and that's just it. That a diverse group as far as some are going to want to stay in the hotels and things. Some are going to just want to pull an RV up and camp out of there, and you get all of that, and all of that's, to me, that's all part of us. You get the same thing here, and so and we're hoping that they're going to come to the Reno Air Races. We make this their home, and oh, by the way, while you're here racing, come see all the other beautiful things we have. Come see our country. Yes. Come see the aliens, but then come see all the other stuff. Hey, maybe after your weekend's over, you're going to want to spend a weekend up in Ruidoso or down in Carlsbad.
So the interesting part about being a September family is holding the races in the air show in September. If they are closer to the end, it provides people with an opportunity to also go to the Balloon Fiesta.
Absolutely, true.
Yeah, so there's a lot of events in there that we can actually attract a whole lot of different travelers across the state.
And if they come a little early, like before Labor Day, they can come do horse racing in Ruidoso. And
so there's
it really does fit here. So we're excited for them to come here the next 2 days. But kind of for you guys, what's kind of like, you guys are just really showing them the amenities pretty much, and just kind of showing them everything we have. And I mean, is it like, do you guys get out of town a little bit, or is it just going to strictly be in Roswell for the next 2 days here?
Because of the time, we actually, when initially we're planning these big tours and a big tour bus to all of our outside communities. So what we did was actually went and got videos. We, went and met with their chambers.
So what they can't go to, you kind of brought to them.
Yes, and we'll be presenting that, but we're going to be touring NIMI. We're going to be doing the, FAA Tower tour, and we'll be looking at the hospitals because emergency response is key. Yes.
Yeah.
And
hopefully we don't need them, but let's face it,
absolutely.
they do. It is a full contact sport that they are in.
I have to commend Mike Matthews and Karen Sanders from the city, the public safety, and Karen Sanders is the emergency. She's like the emergency
service director for Jeff.
Okay,
gotcha.
I was going to call her a chief or something, give her a nice little title. She's a chief in my book. But anyway, they have been amazing at nailing this down and making from the get-go, because they've been on the team from the get-go.
Well, and it does make sense because our population of that, for that the weekend or week or however long the races last that they're going to be in town, our population will probably triple.
Correct.
And whenever you have twice, 3 times the population, that puts a strain on certain amenities and things like emergency services. This is no different than UFO Festival weekend. I'm sure they got to consult with the hospitals and everything else too, because we just have a lot more people in town, and more people means a higher chance of someone getting sick or something happening.
Well, it also means a plane crash.
Absolutely,
So
yeah. I mean,
obviously, that's where the emergency is. Yes, there's those kind of concerns on the lower level, but they want to ensure that we have the ability to have trauma facilities located and all the different aspects of how to be able to respond to something such as that.
Absolutely. And I imagine, too, that's going to, aside from our hospitals, but even talking to our firefighter services and rescue and those, we all know that, well, may not all know, but for folks that don't know, fighting fires and things in the airplane world is not the same as fighting fires at the house and all that. You don't use the same stuff. It's a completely different way they do it. And so you have to have specialized training in that kind of thing. And obviously, if you're a firefighter at the airport, that's the training you have. But now that we have races and things, we just make sure we have enough of that stuff to do
we
all that.
We have firefighters from all over the county, including the volunteer fire departments, that are part of this already. In fact, they wrote a letter of support when we first started this months ago.
Yeah, so that's more of that stuff. Yeah. Obviously, they're probably going to have to do some training and upgrade on some of that. But like you said, this is that part I'm saying we got to get, that's the good part. We got to up our game too. And if we get the nod here saying, yes, you're the one, then guess what? We're going to have to light a fire to make sure that every T is crossed and I is dotted between now and 2025.
Absolutely.
And the first time they come bringing their strong posse of everything that they'll bring.
Well, for us, the actual real work starts the minute that we're announced. So it doesn't end with the site survey, and it doesn't end with announcement. The next day we'll be up, moving and shaking and getting ready for 2025.
Now what? Oh yeah, we got to get ready for this.
You don't get to sleep yet.
So as far as time frame goes here, like they're coming here now, but obviously they've got some other cities and things to visit. What's kind of the time frame that you expect them to announce who this city, the winning city, will be?
Well, they have a couple more cities after us.
Okay.
And they anticipate making their award the first quarter of 24.
Okay. So between January and March of next year, we should know.
Right.
Okay.
Right. In 24. So the last race in Reno was actually this year, and next year they plan on an air show.
Okay.
If they get the air show participants.
Gotcha.
If not, then they won't do an air show in Reno, but they plan on the first race in Roswell.
Gotcha. So they're done racing until they're in their new home.
In 25.
Basically. Hopefully it's here.
So that gives us a little time, and excuse the pun, but this really does propel us to, toward lifting the boats in this entire. There's a lot of things that we'll do, and it's going to change Roswell.
Absolutely.
It's exciting.
I think so too.
And I think it really puts on this great pathway to do all the other things that we haven't thought of, and things that we need to do to grow our community in the right way.
Absolutely.
And they'll give us time to do that.
Absolutely. And I think it also helps to, because Roswell's already a destination city for Southeast New Mexico. When we, when people from Artesia, Carlsbad, Hobbs even, certainly, east of us, Tatum on east, and even in Texas, they come to Roswell to take care of those things. And so it puts a bigger footprint on that, a bigger stamp on all of that. Everything that we already do is going to go 10 levels up once this thing kind of lands.
And I will say we have actually been looking at infrastructure needs and what that looks like. That a lot of the departments within infrastructure have been considering what that would require, and so concepts of what expansion would mean, time frames and stuff like that. So there's been a lot of introspective looks on, okay, what does this mean?
Sure.
As far as running things.
And I think it also forces us to finally commit to that airport. Like all of us agree that airport is the biggest asset that Southeast New Mexico has. Various counties and cities and municipalities and groups have all had different ideas on how to utilize that thing. And so I think this race, once it, assuming we get awarded the Reno Air Races, it's gonna definitely put a stamp. And now we okay, now we know what we're doing with this thing. This is gonna set the table for the next thing. I know we keep talking about bringing other commercial flights in, having other businesses and things set up and use that facility. This is going to spawn that. I think it's gonna once that's established here, because let's face it, there's going to be needs that the Reno Air Races have, as far as catering to their organization and their business. That's going to bring businesses that cater to that, setting up shop in there, things like that, on top of, who knows, maybe now we're forced to say, we need more than one airline to service passengers here.
You're not kidding.
We might have a choice on flying, and I know that sounds weird, but I think Reno Air Races begats all of that, if that makes sense. What, the vision we have for this airport that we've been talking about for years, the Reno Air Races finally says, you know what, it's time to stop dreaming about it. Let's make it happen. We got to turn this into something that is a huge asset, a bigger asset to Southeast New Mexico than it already is. And so I think the Reno Air Races by default force it to do that, if that makes sense.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
And we'll actually start progressing
Yeah.
in so many different ways. I do want to actually take a minute and point out how amazing the EDC has been. They have been instrumental.
They're the rock turners, turn over every rock and everything else.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage people to support our local EDC because they have actually funded the whole process. And so, and they've been in, since the get-go, all on board, willing to take on the expense, take on a lot of the work, utilize their employees to help, because their staff has been amazing at help setting up the site survey. So like I said, if there are businesses out there that want to be a part of this, I highly recommend that they join the EDC.
Absolutely.
And also, if they want to help contribute to this, to the progress of this, they need to reach out to the EDC because they have been amazing at helping us move this forward.
Every business in Southeast New Mexico benefits from the Reno Air Races being
Correct.
here.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if you're related to the industry or not. Guess what's going to happen? When they're coming to town, they're coming to visit, they're going to be eating in your restaurants, staying in your hotels, shopping in your antique stores and alien stores and all of the things.
And the way this is actually set up is that, once Roswell is announced, then the EDC has developed an area that will be the support system for RARA, for Reno Air Racing Association. And that way, businesses who want to be in the know and who want to be a part of this, it is a good idea because they will have first knowledge of what's needed and how the system is going to be moving forward. So it's a good time to super connect.
Yeah, and I know we talk about the actual community of the racers and everything else, but don't forget they bring a fan base. They have hundreds of thousands of fans that love this, and there's only so many places they can watch this type of stuff. So guess where all those people are coming? Right here to Roswell. So, yes, they're going to be, filling up the airport and all that, but guess what? The spectators, the fans, they're all going to be here in town, taking their vacation, spending their time here,
and
doing the stuff with their families, spending their money and everything else here. I'm telling you, this could turn us into Las Cruces overnight. It really could.
There's one thing that we haven't.
Don't say that too loud.
But I mean, as far as that size and that amenities,
Sure.
absolutely.
There's one thing we haven't spoke about, and I think it's real important for people to know, is with the Reno Air Racing Association, what else they bring besides economic opportunity is they bring programs for young people, for the youth. They bring scholarships. They're fully funded for 10 years in scholarships. They much believe in the STEM education with young folks in our,
which kind of lines up with a lot of entities already in existence out at the airport.
That's right, and they believe in honoring our military, our veterans, because so many are, and they truly believe in raising this level of opportunity for young people. Into the aviation sector, whether it's flying or maintenance or whatever it is. There's so many fields within maintenance.
How many youth
maintenance
now might be inspired by that? Next thing you know, we've got a whole group of youth from Roswell that are now in that industry in some way, shape, or form, whether they're mechanics or pilots or building airplanes, whatever they do.
I have no doubt in my mind that once some of our students actually see what air racing looks like, it will forever.
Or at the bare
change.
minimum,
Yeah.
get a job in the air industry and,
Sure.
and building and doing that kind of stuff.
Engineering, all
I
of it,
hate
yes.
I hate to tell folks, but those careers, all high paying, all specialized skill sets, all of them can kind of write their own tickets because, everybody needs aviation. And and there's not a lot of people that have those specialized skill sets. And so you literally command your own tickets, command where you want to go. It's especially in the aviation world. You look at, although this past holiday wasn't too bad compared to others. I've heard, delays and things. The whole aviation industry is needing manpower. They need more people to serve in the air traffic controls, the pilots, to maintenance and all of that. It is an industry that they need more folks, and all of it high-paying, high-skilled stuff.
Yeah,
this could spawn all that. I mean, there could be a group of folks because of what's going on here, they end up going in that industry that already has a demand for new generation of employees. Is really it's a win-win. I really think this is it. Yes. We're going to have to light some fires. Yes, we're going to have to kick some butt to get this thing ready for 2025. But you know what? The juice is worth the squeeze. The potential here is definitely there. And so, okay, yeah, we might have to get busy and make a few more hotels or a few more. So what? That's the whole point. No, we don't want it too nice. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying is like this is an opportunity for growth that everybody says we need. And now that it's here, some people are kind of like, oh, wait a minute. And it's like, no, this is time to move forward. So
I just told my dad to close his eyes. He won't notice.
But that's what builds better roads and better parks and better
absolutely.
schools.
Exactly.
I mean, it does so much to build this town and make it a better community for everyone.
Well, all these people that say, we need an Olive Garden. We need a whatever restaurant in here. Guess what? It will come when
Chick-fil-A is the one I always hear.
Yeah,
you need something.
Yeah, there's always, everyone's got their proclivities and stuff, but we all have them. And yes, this begats that.
Mm-hmm.
This is, when restaurants set up shop, they look at numbers. They, until they see the numbers they want, they're not even looking at a community like this. Well, guess what? You know about us and numbers and how we float and skirt and jump and back and forth. This will kind of correct some of that.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about 50,000.
Yeah,
we're not going to be concerned with a number like that.
Yeah,
it's just going to be truly amazing what it's going to do for our community.
Absolutely.
But I mentioned the veterans, but also they honor all our emergency services folks, from the police departments, the fire departments, to emergency services, to our medical community. I mean, they're real big on that, and also they are very high on our civic clubs.
Nice.
They believe in our civic clubs, and they donate hundreds of thousands.
I was about to say, I imagine there's a lot of money there for a lot of our nonprofits.
Those are their volunteers. Yeah. So absolutely.
Yeah. Some of those have one in Reno. They have one fundraising opportunity a year, and that's Reno Air Racing. Once a year in September, and that's where they make the whole money for that's all they do. They don't have to go out and do car washes or bake sales or blah blah blah. They just do this for.
Well, what I love about that is it shows their commitment to invest back in the community that they're calling.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, we're trying to wine and dine them and woo them and put on our Sunday best to kind of get them here. But at the end of the day, if they do decide to come here, they're going to be equal part family as part here.
I think that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important for the Roswell community to know that they're here. And if they run into them, show them the kind of love that Roswell.
They want to invest back in the community as much as we do.
Yes.
They want it. They want it. They want to put their heart in this community, and so all we got to do is, kind of show them that we're worthy of that love a little bit.
And it's not just 1 week in September either. Some people don't understand that. It's also time in June.
Yeah.
In June, they do all their pilot recertification and training. And
not to mention the year-round
activity.
Tweaking. And, I'm sure there'll be folks, especially the more hardcore racers, that'll probably set up shop here and be testing year-round and doing, you know what I mean?
Yep.
There'll be the more serious racers and then the ones just getting into it. And it's going to be... So it's going to be interesting. I just saw the time. We need to wrap.
A lot of opportunity. A lot of great opportunity.
Fingers crossed, Roswell. Fingers crossed.
But they should be rolling in about lunchtime today and hanging here in town visiting for the next couple of days. So if you do see a group coming through and you do get a chance to talk and wine and dine, just talk. Tell them your favorite things. Talk about,
Talk about green chili.
Yeah. Do what you do here in Roswell. So.
Yep.
But thank you guys.
Thanks, Mike.
I'm sure you guys need to get prepped and ready for the visit here. Put on your Sunday best. So we will see you guys here in a couple days, I guess.
Absolutely.
And hopefully with a better idea of where we stand in this thing. So,
thanks, Mike.
Good deal.
Appreciate
Thank you, guys. All right, it is 7:57. Quick break before news. Don't go away.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate. The scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes. And insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in. And in the summer, it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment, 575-755-7663, or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
On December 16th at 10 a.m., American Legion Post 61 in Roswell will be honoring our fallen veterans at Memory Lawn Memorial Cemetery for National Wreaths Across America Day. We invite you to join us in placement of the wreaths on the graves of our fallen heroes on that day. We also need your support by sponsoring a wreath that will be placed on a grave right here in Roswell. You can sponsor a wreath for as little as $17. To sponsor a wreath, volunteer, and to learn more about the great work of the Wreaths Across America organization, please visit roswelllegion.org today.
Are you looking for a way to serve your community? Look no further than the New Mexico Army National Guard. Whether it's disaster relief or defending our freedoms, the New Mexico Army National Guard is always ready to serve. Gain valuable skills, receive world-class training, and be a part of a team that makes a difference. Step up and become the best version of yourself. To join the New Mexico Army National Guard, call us at 1-800-GO-GUARD. That's 1-800-GO-GUARD.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. Don't go away. We'll be back on the other side of news.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Today, the fourth and final day of the Israel-Hamas ceasefire, but White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports that President Biden says the U.S. and other negotiators are working hard to extend the truce.
At a weekend news conference, the president described the negotiations as a day-by-day, hour-by-hour process and said he would continue working until all hostages were free. Mr. Biden noted, however, that nothing is guaranteed. He welcomed the release of 4-year-old Abigail Edan, the first U.S. hostage to be released under terms of the ceasefire.
17 hostages released by Hamas yesterday. Israel released 39 Palestinian prisoners, and Israel says it is willing to consider an extension of the ceasefire in order to facilitate the release of more captives. Police in Burlington, Vermont announced the arrest of a 48-year-old man in the shootings of 3 young men of Palestinian descent shot while heading to a family gathering near the University of Vermont campus on Saturday evening. Jason Eaton was arrested yesterday afternoon. He's to be arraigned today. Burlington's police chief says that 2 of the men are in stable condition while the other suffered much more serious injuries. Police say the 3 men were wearing black and white Palestinian keffiyeh scarves when they were shot, and it may have been a hate crime. It's back to class today for public school students in Portland, Oregon. The state's largest school district has a tentative contract with its teachers union. Teachers have been manning the picket line since the first of the month. The dispute revolving around issues of pay, size of classes, and teacher planning time. The family of Rosalind Carter is beginning 3 days of memorials for the former First Lady and global humanitarian who died 8 days ago, at the age of 96. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 50 points, the NASDAQ off 12 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Respiratory illnesses from the flu and other infections, but it's not from a new virus.
The info is being shared after a WHO formal request that China provide info about a concerning spike of respiratory illnesses and clusters of pneumonia in children. Getting to the bottom of what's behind it is important, as the emergence of new flu strains or other viruses capable of triggering pandemics typically starts with undiagnosed respiratory illness. To tackle the problem, China's health ministry is now calling on local authorities to promote vaccinations and encourage people to wear masks. I'm Mimi Montgomery.
South Korea says North Korea is restoring frontline guard posts it previously dismantled. Today's South Korean announcement comes amid heightened tension over North Korea's recent spy satellite launch. South Korea's military says it detected North Korea building guard posts at border sites where watchtowers had previously been removed. News and analysis at townhall.com. Well, the dictionary people have chosen their word of the year.
The word is authentic, and in an age of deep fakes and artificial intelligence, Merriam-Webster editor-at-large Peter Sokolowski says lookups of the word authentic were boosted to new heights throughout the year on the dictionary company's website. He says we see in 2023 a kind of crisis of authenticity. He says what we realize is that when we question authenticity, we value it even more. Authentic follows 2022's choice of the word gaslighting. I'm Donna Warder.
The financial markets, and that includes Wall Street, will be watching closely this week when the Commerce Department releases its October snapshot of both consumer spending and inflation, and that will come on Thursday. It is a gauge of inflation that's closely watched by the Federal Reserve. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. The deuce of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Yes.
Happy post-Thanksgiving weekend, everybody.
Indeed. Hope you got stuffed.
Yes.
To the gizzards.
Now you can officially turn your attention to Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Put up your Christmas lights. Do all of that. It's okay.
That's right. It's your time now.
It is your time. Yes. Yes.
And good luck to all the fine folks out there who work in the retail industry. If anyone tried to venture, I was terrified to go to any market. So it was
for Black Friday?
For on that Friday, yes.
Yeah. Although I heard like it wasn't a big deal this year. Like people went out and said it wasn't all crazy.
It wasn't even Friday. This is when it was for me. I was going to go and get some stuff to make dinner on Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
This is before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and that's a crazy.
So I pulled into the parking lot of Albertsons Market on West 2nd Street and had a panic attack because if you've seen that parking lot, it's usually full-ish. This parking lot, the spaces that weren't spaces were spaces. I pulled into this parking lot and immediately decided we were having pizza for dinner. That's exactly how bad that was. It was just like I couldn't get out of my car.
I honestly think pizza might be the official meal of Wednesday before
Wednesday before the That's got to be when they see a big spike.
And it's all delivery. It's none of it is homemade pizza.
It's all from a place for sure.
Yes.
I'm just I'm not above driving over to a place.
Yes. It's not a homemade pizza. It is delivered or carry outed.
Yes.
From one of the.
As a former delivery driver myself, I say support your delivery drivers 100%, but I'm gonna go get it myself.
It depends. Mostly I'm lazy, but if I'm out and about, I'm going to swing by on the way
Here's
home.
the thing. I am chief lazy, but also chief cheap, like stupid cheap.
Yeah.
So the need to save for me outweighs the need to be comfortable. It might be the same mindset of I take as a father. It's like it's just easier for me to do it myself than to have to explain the step-by-step process to you for you to halfway do it and me to do it later.
Put it this way. All that means is he gets the Roman pizza a lot.
The Roman pizza?
Little Caesars.
Oh, I love.
Because they literally have it waiting for you. You just pick it up and go home.
This needs to be said, though. As a father who orders way more than our fair share of pizzas in this town, please, managers, train your employees, and I'm talking about universally, across the board.
Okay.
Train them how to cut a pizza properly. It infuriates me when I get home and the pieces aren't separated to where I have to like tear the pizza and then it gets all like... I'm one of those OCD people where if it's not a clean split, it's going to drive me crazy. So please, for the sake of all of our OCD friends and family out there, please cut your pizzas properly.
I wish I had the skill set to cut it so the actual pieces were the same size.
Have you ever seen the ones that do the giant,
with the big
like,
roll over? Yeah.
It looks like a torture device, this blade they have.
It looks fun though.
Oh, it looks like a blast, especially the ones who are really good at it. They'll just whop, and you're done.
I'm pretty sure.
And those are clean slices.
I'm pretty sure that it's the same thing that the Klingons use as a battle axe.
Right. Or at least part of it. Yeah. It's the business end thereof.
Want some pizza? Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that's why I love old school New York pizzerias, because they use those big things. The pizza's always, huge. And, it's to me, that's the epitome of way pizza's supposed to be.
For the first time this weekend, I saw via YouTube video the first ever Chicago deep dish pizza I've ever actually wanted to eat, because it actually came out in a slice. Like they removed it from the thing and it didn't just go.
Gotcha.
Every time I've seen one of those, it's just like you're just eating sauce covered crust.
Yeah.
But if it holds itself together, heck yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
But that's a tall order.
Yeah, Chicago style can get Jabba the Hutt like very easily. So, but whatever it is, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving.
Indeed.
And I'm going to try to. I'll ask the Healthy Kids Chavis County folks if I can eat turkey one more day or not. I know you said we're supposed to be wrapping it up after today.
Yeah, health scientists say today is the day you should go ahead and wrap that up. You know what? Here's what you
bad
should do.
though. Like you know how you said earlier about the cheap thing. I feel like it's a bit of a faux pas to throw that much food away.
I understand, but you're not necessarily throwing away food at this point. You're throwing away a science experiment.
Yeah, it feels like a waste.
It's just okay as long as you're okay with whatever colonies you happen to be raising on the backside of that dark meat, then more power to you.
I'm not. I give the sniff test. I mean, I'm gonna.
And it's funny, too, because the same story I read today said the smell test doesn't always work.
Great.
There should be other tests, like, does it move on its own? Probably time to throw it out.
Well, I've yet to see the turkey walk up out of the fridge, so. But I hear you. I don't want it anymore. I really don't. I really am. But I feel like especially the turkey. Like I'll sacrifice the sweet potatoes. Fine.
See, but that's where you and I differ.
The turkey, I'm like, I can't let this soldier die.
We've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
But I would take sides over mains every time at Thanksgiving.
I would take some sides.
No, all. I would prefer a Thanksgiving with no protein.
See, that's just something weird people do.
That's just something that ugly people say. No, but what I mean is, okay, fine. Yeah, the meat is fine, but on any time I have a Thanksgiving plate, the meat is such a minuscule portion to the everything else I have on there. Like I will load up on the sweet potatoes.
See,
I will
and
load
to
up on
me,
the green bean casserole.
I use the turkey as a vessel because what I'll do is I will use the turkey, dip it in the mashed potatoes with the gravy. Shove it in the gullet. I will dip the dressing in the turkey with the gravy and throw it in my gullet.
This is
it
the beauty.
needs to be a part of the party.
That means you have couth.
Yeah.
See, what I'll do is I'm going to grab that gravy boat and I'm going to take myself a good solid swig of that stuff.
See,
who needs a vessel? The boat is a vessel.
I vessel my meat. Like I literally will dip the sweet potatoes in the turkey with the gravy with the and we have okra, so I'll bring okra to the party. The dressing, the gravy. I eat. Only thing I don't touch with that is generally my deviled egg or I don't get cranberry on my plate, but if I wouldn't touch that either.
You know what? That's the one thing I think I could still stand to have is some cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Like I might finagle a little bit.
Now I don't pour gravy on the sweet potatoes, but it touches. It gets mixed in the mix sometimes.
One cool thing is I got to pass on to my because my daughter's super food averse. So there's really it was a lot of pizza on Thanksgiving. But by the way, thanks to the fine folks at Godfathers for staying open on Thanksgiving Day. But I digress.
They were open
on Thanksgiving Day. Wow. Thank you guys. But I digress. I did pass on to her the sacred tradition of tearing one's roll and scooping mashed potatoes and gravy onto roll for the ultimate bite.
Good. Did she like that?
She enjoyed the heck out of that.
Well, that's the first start of mixing the food.
It is. And it's like weirdly, that's one thing she doesn't mind is food mixing. But
I figured with her kind of food pickiness,
yeah,
touching food is usually one of those things that's kind of an issue.
No, she tongue tips it, which really, it's like you cannot taste with the tip of your tongue. She was like, that's not how it works.
Doesn't work. Yeah.
Donkey lip it.
I mean, some people just live for the school lunch tray. You know what I mean?
I was so happy. Like when I had that tray and it was just like the traditional school lunch with the mashed potatoes. And come on, guys. I mean, I know there are food aversions and allergies out there. Throw a little salt in your gravy. But then this past weekend at real Thanksgiving, or on Thursday, Misty broke out the stack of the foam lunch trays.
Nice.
With all the little compartments. I'm
nice.
Like, perfect. All we need now is little cartons of milk and we'll be set.
I do. If I had an opportunity to buy like the yellow plastic ones from back in the day that were about this big, and they had the rectangle one, the circle one here, and then the three smaller rectangles or squares above, I completely would own a set of those and use them at my house.
I would argue that it's Swanson.
My wife would be mad.
Swanson Incorporated is the reason we have that tray in that formation, is because that's how the Swanson dinners used to come.
Yep.
With the brownie in the middle.
That's right.
Of course, I might also be thinking of kid cuisines.
Well, they all were like. Well, I remember seeing an old meme yesterday or over the weekend, and they were talking about the 60s and 70s TV dinner versions and all that. The real Hunger Man.
The foil tops.
Yeah, the Hunger Man jobbers.
Oven. Cooked TV dinners.
And they're still the same. I mean, as far as, I'm sure the food's probably better quality back then, but yeah.
And I know we got to get to the guests, but did you see, like a month ago, I think it was Nissan, put out released a report that early next year, they're going to be putting out cup noodles in a paper cup or a cup. So now, for the first time ever, you can microwave cup noodles.
And people are like, you couldn't microwave the noodles?
Collectively, the entirety of the internet was like, wait, you couldn't before? Were we not supposed to do? What chemicals were we leaching into our stuff?
I learned that rule years ago.
Did you overdo it?
No, well, this is why I stopped. Because I'm that guy that every time I just poured water in the cup of noodles and threw in the microwave, I had to end up mopping up half the cup of noodles in there.
Yeah.
So I said, and then one day I actually read the container.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, you're supposed to heat the water and then pour the water in and let it do its thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then so about 5 years ago, I learned that dumb lesson.
But I guess then I've lucked out because every time I've had the foam cup noodles, I've just always, had a good microwave that got it done right.
Yeah.
That's never been an issue.
Yeah. So, but my issue was always it would overflow it, and then I'd spill the cup of noodles.
I wonder if that's why I can't ever win a scratch ticket. Like some people have luck in lotto.
Yeah.
My luck is, every now and again I can put a cup noodle in the microwave and it's not going to leak.
Yeah. Maybe.
Luck always falls in different places, and I think mine's just not going to fall where I'm going to get scratch lottery.
We
money.
have our glass 2-cup measuring cup,
Uh-huh.
and I always fill it about 2/3 of the way up with water. And then I throw it in the microwave for 3 minutes and 15 seconds, pull it out, pour it in my thing, and 3 minutes later I got ramen.
There you go. So it takes 6 minutes to get your ramen, though.
It does.
That's a step too far, man. I don't know. One of my favorite, and again, last thing I'm going to say, and then we get to the guest. One of my favorite things a comedian's ever said is he judges what he's going to have for dinner based on how many steps are in the preparation of the TV dinner that he's getting.
Yeah.
He's like, do I have to slit it and then open it halfway through and stir it? That's out.
Yeah. I get that. Because I've had some that are like, remove the chicken, then put back in the microwave. I'm like, I'm not doing all that.
Right? Those are steps.
All right, it is 8:18. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll stay a little on the cool side today with some cloud cover. We have a weak low-pressure trough moving through, about 50 for the afternoon high. Some lingering cloud cover and low 30s for the overnight hours, and then we should get a little bit more sunshine on Tuesday, and it will be a bit warmer. Highs back in the upper 50s. We're in the low 60s, and we're looking at sunshine for Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 32 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 61%. Winds currently out of the north at 6 miles per hour. Cloudy for today. Expect highs in the mid-50s, 54 officially, with southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy this evening, but gradually clearing. Expect an overnight low of 31 degrees with south winds at around 5 miles per hour, shifting north later in the evening. Sunny on Tuesday, highs in the upper 50s tomorrow, 58 officially, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 34 degrees, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, warming up into the 60s, mostly cloudy early, but gradually clearing and becoming sunny with a high of 61 on Wednesday. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, they're saying there's a chance, a 20% chance of showers after 11 a.m. on Thursday, partly cloudy and 60. Friday, partly cloudy and 57, and then 60 and sunny on Saturday, 60 and sunny on Sunday as well. All right, 8:20, we're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we're going to talk to the folks from Healthy Kids Chavez County, get an update from them. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids, taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If you're suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
A dining set is the staple of family gatherings. It's where you spend holidays, where you help your kids with their homework. It's an entertainment setting for game nights or new recipes. Your dining room is a centerpiece of style and design. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. Here at Glenn's, we bring quality to the modern dining room. Our selection is extensive with clean lines and subtle curves, from traditional to contemporary with wood or stone tops. Stylize your dining room at Glenn's on Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy, like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company. But come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
Fall time is almost here, and the holidays will be here before you know it. The Calico Cow invites you to move on into the cow and check out the new holiday fabrics arriving daily and take advantage of a huge sale on Brothers sewing machines now through the end of the year. Get free lessons, maintenance, and a first-year cleaning included. Fall into savings at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop now at their new location, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Hey, Freddie Sosa here. Are you tired of high interest rates? For the entire month of November, Richland has 1.9% financing for up to 36 months on all 2023 Buick Enclave, Envisions, and Encore GXs. We also have 1.9% financing on all 2023 Chevy Silverados. But even better, 0.9% financing on all 2023 GMC Sierra 1500s for up to 36 months. And don't forget, up to 25% of our inventory has Black Friday pricing. We also have the largest used car inventory in southeastern New Mexico. So rush on down to Richland Motors at 2601 West 2nd in Roswell.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:24, and joining us in studio this morning from Healthy Kids, Chaves County, Becky Joyce with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Pretty good.
Good. And then we have, you're head of the Food Services Department.
Food Service Director.
Yes, of course, Kim Meeks for the Roswell Independent School District and Shelley Montgomery with the Dexter School.
Yes.
They're the head of basically they're the ones that make sure the menus and every child is fed in the RISD and then Dexter respectively here. So good morning, ladies. How are y'all today?
Good morning.
So I guess you're back to work. You had a little bit of a break, Our Thanksgiving, y'all are on your own, but now you're back to feeding them here. Now everyone's back to school and everything here today.
Yes.
So. How was y'all's Thanksgiving?
Very good. Busy. Great. Busy.
Do y'all get to not cook and make the rest of your family cook on that day?
I try to do.
I'm about to say, you'd be like, look, I do this. This is what I do. I just do this all day. For Thanksgiving, I don't want to cook. I want to watch football and sit on the couch, and y'all do the cooking.
Exactly. Great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Well, I'm sure that didn't work out. But anyway, before we kind of talk about what we talk about, kind of give folks, Becky, just a little background of what Healthy Kids Chaves County, for folks that may not know. It is part of, it's actually I guess you'd say a subdivision of the New Mexico Department of Health.
We're an initiative of the Department of Health.
Yeah.
And so what we do, we go into the schools and teach about nutrition and healthy eating and physical activity and trying to fight childhood obesity in New Mexico. And so, because it's a big problem here. And with the help of these ladies and their programs, we work closely with them.
Yeah.
And also just go in and we have some great programs, 5210. We encourage healthy fundraisers, physical activity like walk and bike to school, and also the Walking Wednesdays.
Sure.
And so things like that to kind of keep kids active and eat healthy.
Yeah, kind of remind, and then of course with you guys in your respective districts here, you're really behind a lot of the new initiatives like where your food comes from and things like that. So you guys have done a lot more, both school districts, in farm to table stuff. We're getting food that was grown and raised locally here that are now in your school lunch menus and things like that.
Our New Mexico grown.
Yeah, New Mexico grown, and even to the point where certain grades and things are growing a little bit of their own stuff in schools and incorporating that into the lunch menus and everything else here, and that's where you guys have really come in over the last, both school districts really, kind of the new way of serving food to kids in schools, the way it's done. It's way different than what we remember and in our younger days and stuff. Food comes from a lot of different places.
Well, no kidding.
Kim's school a few of her schools have gardens.
Yeah.
And in Dexter, we will be receiving, we got a grant that we're going to get pretty soon, hopefully, that we are going to get a greenhouse.
Good deal.
And so we're going to be working with the kids to grow stuff in that greenhouse.
Yeah, so kids are learning that food doesn't come from the grocery store.
Exactly.
I mean, it does, but not originally.
Exactly.
And I love all that. Plus, it gets to the point where they understand what's in their food and seeing a little bit of that. And I'm guessing you guys see success because, let's face it, kids and eating vegetables and things like that, that's usually a little bit of a fight. But when the kid's part of the process of growing it, raising it, I'm guessing they're a little bit more receptive to trying it.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Is that something you guys see? A lot of that. It's like, hey, if they're growing their own,
I'm going to at least taste it.
Yeah, zucchini or whatever it is, they get to try it and hopefully decide that vegetables are okay.
Over the years, since 2010 when the new federal regulations came in and we started offering them more vegetables, the first group of kids, it was devastating. But now they are used to eating and they will ask for more vegetables. So
that's good.
It's coming along with.
Yeah, it's making it to the point where it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, we're still fighting the fight of the candy and everything else and the diet, when we were kids, the word like diabetes was never in a child's vocabulary.
No.
You know what I mean? That was now it's almost commonplace, which is scary. Especially for kids. One thing when we get old, and it's like we had a good run. But when they're kids getting diabetes and things like that at that point, that's when we need to take a look. It's like, what are we putting in our bodies? What are we doing here? And that's where you guys have really kind of stepped up to say, let's get the kids more involved in where their food comes from and understanding how the food is and not just opening a box and throwing it into the microwave and saying here's dinner.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I love, and for you guys to get back into that. And here's something else that folks don't realize: these are the two women you can thank in the summer when you're trying to look for breakfast and lunch for your kids during the summer and all that. These are the ladies, obviously Kim here in Roswell and Shelley and Dexter respectively here. But when you have those back to school or after school programs, these are the ladies that do all of that. So you can thank them for feeding all the kids of Southeast New Mexico almost between the two of them here. And a couple other fine folks too. But so we want to get people and families involved and I'm guessing, and that's really where Healthy Kids comes in because they learn a lot of this stuff in school and you want it to go home. You want the kids to rub off on the parents a little bit. We're a little bit more set in our ways and tending them what we eat and like and don't like. And sometimes your kids are the ones that kind of educate the parents on some of that stuff too. Right. And it's all because of what you guys do in the schools and all that. And so it's a win-win for everybody where we might, this generation might, because we always have, generations of people, and you look at lifespans getting longer, and now we're not seeing that number growing anymore. We're seeing it go back the other way. And maybe this generation of kids in school now, because of stuff like this, can get that back to the trend of reversing, people living longer, not shorter. And,
right.
That's
that's
it's
what we're hoping for.
Yeah, and this is what we're talking about. So please, when your kids are talking about doing this stuff in school and be a part of that, as parents. Okay, you don't like Brussels sprouts either. I get it, but work with your kids on some of this stuff, and let's reverse this. So hopefully, they're the generation that is grabbing carrots and celery instead of cookies and pie.
Yeah,
at least try it.
At least try it. Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. And obviously with cooking and things. And you can attest this. There's so many different ways to present foods that we like and that we love and want to eat, but we can do it in a way that's much more healthier. We can still eat pizza, we can still eat these things. We just do it in a way that is, not so unhealthy to us.
Well, and that's exactly right, and that's where parents sometimes get confused because they'll say, "Oh, y'all are serving pizza," and yes, we are, but it's whole grain crust, it's low fat pepperoni, low sodium.
It's not processed food. It's real foods.
And it's the nutrients lower calories,
Mhm.
all of those things are different than what you just go to the store and buy or what you get at
Absolutely.
Pizza Hut.
Yeah, we live in a world that we're paying for convenience, and
Oh, yes.
and you really have to do your homework when it comes to reading packaging and things at the stores, and unfortunately, people our age, we're kind of duped in things, and so we're not trained to look for that kind of stuff.
Right.
We're hoping our kids are a little bit more adept at that kind of thing, and when they see some of the marketing like low fat, and I'm like, well, what does that really mean? Let's see what low fat means here. It's like, okay, lower fat, but it's 10 times worse than 10 other things.
Yeah. Well, all the food that's served to the students, it has to meet the regulations that we have to follow. And so it is healthier food.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, it's a strict guidelines, and that really forces you guys to be creative too, because let's face it, you got to make food that adheres to the strict nutritional, but at the same time, it's got to be something kids will eat. Because if not, yeah, exactly. Because if not, I mean, you could lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And if you put all this healthy food out, but if it just goes from the tray to the trash can every day, then what are we doing here?
Exactly right.
You know?
Well, and they work really hard to make that happen. And I think it's a misconception for lots of people that assume that it's sugary breakfasts and things like that. But they have to meet standards that they go by. And so, and they work real hard at it. And we have two of the champions right here in our own little area of southeast New Mexico. And so I think they have some important things to talk about today.
I know we're kind of getting on philosophy here, and I need to let you talk a little bit about what you actually got going on.
But we applaud them both.
But we have fun. We both enjoy, what we do, and enjoy working with the kids. And programs like Becky's and the New Mexico Grown gives us a chance to work a little closer with kids and get their input, and to go into the classrooms and do the taste testings and all that stuff. So we do have fun with it.
Absolutely.
And introducing new items.
But we couldn't do our job without Becky and Paula.
Yeah.
And that's
they're
amazing. Yeah, you guys are the ones doing the work here, but she's the one helping with getting some of the initiatives and getting some of the
and supplies
and also turning people on to the concept of what you're talking about here. And doing this.
And them being educators. Anytime that we have, you have to do an education piece with this. Well, we call them. We need the education piece or that part, and we couldn't do it without them.
Well, it's a partnership. I mean, obviously, the kids are under your care for a good hunk of the day, between at school with teachers and everything else. But the lessons learned have to be done at home, too. And that's where I think Becky and Healthy Kids really are that transition with home and school. And so, you guys are in the schools encouraging this kind of, behavior and skill set. She's a big part in helping it translate it to the home. To where, okay, we eat healthy at school, but then we go home and flaming hot whatever. And
we try to teach that, and we have some programs that go both ways. That we try to send messages home to parents, because you can talk to the kids till you're blue in the face, but it has to happen at home also.
Absolutely.
And so, anyway, they do a great job, and
Thank you, Becky. We appreciate y'all.
Yes,
good deal. Do. But we got some things coming up here we want to put on people's radar here. So I'll kind of turn it over to you and let you guys talk a little bit about that.
We are hosting a session on Thursday night.
Okay.
At 5 o'clock at Roswell High School.
Okay.
And it is to learn about Senate Bill 4, which was passed during the legislative session a
year ago here.
Yes.
Okay. Talk a little bit about what this Senate bill involves.
Healthier food, and also every student eats free.
Gotcha.
Breakfast and lunch. Our students at both areas have eaten. They get to eat free no matter what.
Yeah,
because
we guys have been ahead of the curve on this one
Correct.
A little bit, but now it's going statewide here.
Correct. So that part doesn't really change anything with us, and really, we have been feeding our students healthy meals.
Yeah, this is just business as usual for you guys for the most part, but it is to get the parents on board and understanding what's going on.
Yes, and behind this bill, so to kind of really understand what it means, is we get paid a certain amount for students, a higher amount for students that are on, let's say, food stamps.
Okay.
Homeless.
Gotcha. Some kind of government assistance.
That kind of thing.
Okay.
We get paid a higher amount, and it's $4 and some cents.
33.
But on the other end, the kids that don't get any assistance, we only get paid
40 cents.
40 cents per tray.
But they eat the same amount of food.
It's the same exact tray. So what the state has kind of stepped in here and said, we're going to make up that difference for you, which is going to mean that we don't have to pay out of our pocket.
Yeah.
Or not our personal, but the cafeteria programs to balance that out.
Well, and that's just it, like you said, because I'm thinking in theory they were thinking, well, they're going to rely more on the person that's on more assistance is going to rely more on the free food programs where other family. That's not the case anymore in schools. You come to have breakfast, all the kids come to have breakfast. It isn't, okay, those pay and go over here, those not paying go over here. That's not, they come in, they all go through the same door, they grab the same breakfast foods, and they go sit in the cafeteria and eat it just like everybody else does. So why should be different numbers on each of these?
Exactly right. And it doesn't make any kid feel any different than any other kid.
Sure.
Now, most of Kim's school do breakfast in the classroom, and my elementary does breakfast in the classroom. And so they just go in, get their breakfast.
Yeah. It's just part of how they start every day.
Every day.
It's part of the new normal routine, and it should be funded that way.
Yes. And they're calling them listening sessions, and there's going to be a representative from the governor's office and also from PED that's going to come and talk more about this and what it means. They've also put out $20 million in grant money that every school that wants to could apply for something, because what we're trying to do is improve. So if you have, need new stoves or new whatever, you can apply for that money.
Good.
And so
I'm sure for some cases it's
around.
Long overdue for some of these school districts and things like that. Correct. So that's a good thing that they're investing this money in here. And so it probably behoove you, especially if you got family, kids, you probably want to come to this meeting on Thursday so you understand what's going on in your classrooms and how the sausage is made here, so to speak, and but also learn the funding and what's going on behind that. And and it is your taxpayer dollars that are at work here. Right. So see what they're doing with it, and it sounds like they're finally getting this right after, you know what I mean? They're finally saying, you know what, why didn't we? Because to be honest, this should have been an issue we resolved years ago.
Well,
I mean, when it comes to feeding kids in schools, it just should happen,
And it's, two separate things, because USDA is federal and now this is going to be state. So it is nice that the state want to kind of gets behind us and give a little support that way too.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. And what I love about it, it really encourages, the menus to kind of update and change too, because now you're going to get, you have been, but you're going to continue to see more local flavors in your thing.
Exactly.
It's not the standard meals that we all see at every school. The pizza on Friday, all of us, we grew up with years of it. They have the tray and the pizza, and everyone knows it, whether you're in Maine or in California, it's the same. And so now it kind of changes that up a little bit. It's like, oh, no, I was in New Mexico. We had things with green chili for lunch. We had things that we have at home we had our diet menu are consistent with what we eat at home and what we do. It's not always the same square pizza or the same chicken or steak and cheese sandwich or whatever.
Right.
It's not that same one.
No, it allows for more, and that's what part of this bill allows for more culturally relevant foods.
Absolutely.
And they've been doing that.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Your kids in southeast New Mexico have been enjoying that already.
We really have.
The rest of the state's getting on board here.
Right.
And a lot of it, so I'm guessing you two and some others are probably using you guys as the example here as the one. This is it worked here. This is how it's going to work in the rest of the state. So, but we want to come.
True.
Yeah, we want to get families to come out to the meeting on Thursday at Roswell High to learn and be understanding of what some of this is going on.
In the little theater, right? Yes.
You'll be in the little theater there at Roswell. Put it this way, just follow the herd. They'll tell you where it's going. I don't think there'll be any basketball games quite yet there. So, so I think you'll be the only crowd in town at Roswell High that night. But come on out, and please, if you have kids in the district, please come and listen to this. It impacts especially younger kids, where they're going to be in at least another 8-10 years of being in the school system here. You need to understand what's going and by the same token, hopefully take what the school's doing and incorporate that in your own home. While the kids are learning these lessons about the vegetables and things, take it home. Let your kids be a part of the cooking. Let them help cook dinner and help plan the menu and do some of that kind of stuff. That's what we're hoping here is they learn this in school and then it rubs off at home and then everyone's benefiting from this. So
what other parts of that Senate bill are there that were going to be discussed? I'm not as familiar as you all are about that.
This is sort of the rulemaking process for this bill.
Okay.
So the bill was already passed, and now they're coming back and they're kind of doing the rulemaking part.
The details of the bill.
Yes, in a little more of the details, and that's kind of what they want to discuss. And they're having these listening sessions all across the state. They've already had one in Farmington.
Okay.
On the 21st, they had one in West Las Vegas.
Okay.
And on the 28th of November in Rio Rancho. The 30th is going to be at Roswell High here in Roswell. And Wednesday, December the 13th, it's going to be in Las Cruces.
Okay.
And December the 14th, they're going to do a virtual statewide listening
So
session.
if you can't make it Thursday, you might want to check out the virtual one. That way you can at least, I get it, life happens, and if you're busy on Thursday, you're busy on Thursday. But maybe tune into the virtual one here, and that way, if you can't do, or by all means, do to both. Come out Thursday and then see what the rest of the state's thinking on the virtual version here too. So because I imagine things that are discussed in, say, Farmington or Las Cruces maybe aren't the same as what's being talked about here
that's exactly
at Roswell.
Right. In the different areas of the state. Down here where we are is more of a food desert than some of the other spots. And so, we've even got some questions about the local grown.
Sure.
Because how far is that going to go? Because it's, we're being required to spend more money on local grown.
Well, I imagine, too, there's also some obstacles, like what happens when the farms don't have the crop that they were hoping that year. That's life. Sometimes the weather don't cooperate and there ain't as much crops as there usually do. So how do we overcome that? What's our backup plans?
Right,
What's
and their cost to get it from Albuquerque to here is a lot more, than out from Graves Farms.
Yeah,
so,
let's face it. The reason this probably wasn't done this way is because, quite frankly, it is more expensive to do it that way. But we're all saying the juice is worth the squeeze here. It's like, sure, we can get cheaper, lesser foods to you quicker, but what are we doing to our health and overall, what are we setting the table for in the future? We're sacrificing health for convenience, and we need to stop doing that. We're seeing the negative impact of that now. So it's time to say, okay, how do we do the healthy logistically without breaking the bank and doing it at the same time? And this is what we're talking about here is how do we get the logistics here? What happens when Farm A doesn't put out the crops that we were hoping? Where does that come from, that makeup? And that's where these listening sessions and all that's kind of vetting that out right now.
Well, exactly.
We also use a large portion of the money for our New Mexico grown beef, raised beef. And the kids can taste a difference.
USA beef packing.
Nice.
Yes, they're amazing.
Nice. Well, this is great.
And what people don't understand is the state gives us this money, and so does the federal, but they also tell us how to spend it.
Right.
So we
lots of strings.
Lots of strings. And so we can't they won't let us spend it on delivery charges, for example. So,
it's kind of like we're all trying to do one thing, but at the end of the day, the rules are still hamstringing us on doing it the way that we know should be the right way. So it's time to let's fix these rules to make it so, sure.
Yes.
If we need to do something that way in a pinch, we do it, but set the table for let's get the fresh produce and the logistics in place to get it where it needs to get to in the hands that it needs to get to, and that the people that have the hands that it goes to have the proper resources to get it to where it needs to be into the bellies of
our
these
USA
kids.
beef is right here local. I mean,
Correct.
down near
East Grand
Dexter.
Plains?
Yeah.
Or East Grand Plains. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's handy.
Yeah.
And
That's
and
very
helps well in your shipping.
And the beef has been amazing.
It's excellent.
Sure.
Excellent. And then, of course, Graves Farms, that we absolutely love.
Absolutely. Yeah, they do. You'd be surprised at how much produce and foods come out of our local farms that go in your kids' stomachs at lunch here in Dexter, Roswell, wherever, all southeast New Mexico. It's an amazing good thing, and
Well,
I hope to see more of that.
Even Graves Farms had a problem this year. Gophers moved in overnight, and they had to replant some of their stuff, and that pushed it back for us a little bit on when we could start supplying our kitchens.
Something as little as a gopher can mess up the whole works, right? But come to the informational meeting on Thursday.
Yes.
What time is that again?
5 o'clock.
5 p.m. It's going to be at the Roswell High there in their little theater.
Yes.
Come. You don't have to RSVP or anything. Just come.
There is a RSVP link.
Okay,
we'll
if you'd
leave
like
it
to.
with you.
All right, good deal. But please come and make plans to attend, especially if you have children in the district. But even if you don't, you want to learn where the food, because let's face it, this all translates into the homes and things too, because I'm going to guess if we get this figured out in the schools, this will translate to other things, including our homeless, how we serve them, and maybe we can use some of these same methods to get food to them as well.
That's
too.
all included.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's all part of the big picture here. So please come and let's face it, we want to know what your kids are eating. You want to, we always talk about giving your kids freedom to make decisions and all that, but you got to give them good choices to make those things. And it starts with this food. And to be honest, I feel like myself, I just grew up in a time where I'm a little cheated about this, because I grew up in a generation where they taught us about, the value meals and there's a reason why people my generation eat pretty bad, because we were taught different, and food pyramids and, 4 food groups and all this. And now, that's all outdated stuff. But unfortunately, our brains still work that way a little bit. And, you always hear the thing, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can, it's just hard. But if we can get into young and now and do it now and set the table, then the next generation already have that. And we're not talking about these kind of things. They've got the tools, they've got the understanding, and they've got the desire and the ability to do that, whether it's start their own gardens or be more cognizant of what they put in their bodies and where they get their food from, and understanding that, there is a cost for getting, sure, maybe a little cheaper at the beginning when you bought the box thing as opposed to the fresh thing. But when it comes to the health of your body, that fresh thing's going to put you on this earth a lot longer than what you're eating out of that box. And that's the message we need to get to understand people. It's like, not 2 vegetables are the same sometimes, depending on how it was raised, where it came from.
And it's important for the community and to understand the reasons why Kim and I and the food service directors across the United States do the things that they do. You might not understand, but if you'll come to one of these sessions, you'll understand, and then you'll think, oh, now I know.
You see the picture. You understand what we're talking about.
And understand how their day is. They start really early in the morning to make this all happen every single school
I'm sure
day.
it's a dance. It's a very elaborate, highly skilled dance that happens in every single school, every single day that's serving meals.
Exactly. And my school's small enough. We don't have as many of the obstacles, I'll say, as Kim's school does, because she has a central kitchen at a high school that was not built for that.
Right.
No.
And if they get off, I used to work there. If they get off 5 minutes, it messes up the entire day.
Wow. It's that down to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it's and they send out over 4,000 lunches each day.
That's amazing.
And that's not including breakfast.
That's amazing. And that's why I always tell you, that's why these after school and summer programs are such a big deal, because the logistics they do on a daily basis. And by the way, we're going to continue that during the summer, which, the volume may not be quite as big, but it's still impactful. I know in Roswell alone, there's 6 or 7 different locations each summer that you got to manage. Right. Dexter, you've got, 3. I think, 3 different locations and at 3 different times, which means that's a whole nother dance you have to juggle. So you would think they want to take the summer off and spend it with their kids and grandkids, but no, they're spending their summers feeding your kids and grandkids because we can't do it during the week. So please come out to these meetings, understand what's going on, and I would hope there's some families that see this and see what's going on and want to embrace it, support it, and make it the standard here, and get involved with, talk to your food workers at the schools. They would love to have the families, get more involved and do that kind of stuff, because all these initiatives we're talking about and things all started because parents and families get into support and help do that kind of stuff. So, good deal. Is there anything we need to mention here before?
I can't think of.
I know I tend
else.
to get winded and then sidetracked and things like that, but I always just want to sink the point home that this is good work. This is the stuff that makes changes in our community.
Well,
These
and
are
if
the
you have
things
questions, just like talking to your city council or anything else, if you have questions about it, you've got to come to these and voice your opinion or ask your questions.
Absolutely.
So that it kind of clears things up. And they're here to talk to you and answer those questions and make it clear what their job is like.
And at the end of the day, we're talking about the one thing we all love. Everybody loves food. Everybody loves it. It might be the same kind of food, but everyone on this planet loves food.
Yeah.
And so let's find the best for our kids and for our generations, expose them. That's just it. We always hear the things, I don't like Brussels sprouts. Well, it's because they didn't get exposed to it, or it was already presented to them in a negative connotation, like, I don't like them, but you might. Here's these nasty Brussels sprouts. You know what I mean? And of course they're going to be like, oh, mom and dad aren't going to eat it. I'm sure not going to like this, And so it's learning and presenting it. And by the way, Brussels sprouts are delicious. You just got to find a way to cook them that you like them. I've had certain Brussels sprouts, I'm like, ooh, but then I've had other people prepare it like they use some kind of vinaigrette or something in there, and I was like, oh man,
very good, yeah.
That was a 10. Now I'm on Team Brussels sprout. But if you just throw them in the pan and say, here you go, I'm like, all right, now you got to put some seasonings on this thing here. But that's just it. I think a lot of people would love food once you understand seasoning and how to do it. Yeah. I think that's where you guys come in and teach. It's like, okay, all right, you don't like this big thing of kale, but when I do this to the kale, this now it's all of a sudden something you want to eat, and that's what we're learning here. And so come to the meeting and learn about some of these initiatives and learn, how the food's being delivered, how it's being made, and what we're wanting to do with it next, and get you as families involved and on board on that kind of stuff, and maybe even helping out when we have our special events and things, and there's parents, helping to make sure the food's, kids are there for the food and all that. This is the future. This is the stuff that sets the table for the future for our families and our kids and our schools. This is what we're talking about here. So please get involved. Reach out to Healthy Kids if you want to get involved. If you as a family want to get involved with things, like I was talking about, they come to the meetings. Well, sometimes mom and dad need to lead by example too. And so when the kids come home excited from school talking about exercise or a program, or hey, they're giving us free passes at the aquatic center or whatever, take advantage of these kinds of things.
That's right.
That's the stuff. Get involved with the kids. Go be, granted, I get it. There's certain foods you like to eat. It's like, I don't care what you tell me, I'm not giving up my ice cream. Still have your ice cream. Yep. But let's say, maybe after each ice cream, go take a walk.
Yep.
Or
That's
we go hit the gym. And you
I think
can swim.
most every elementary school in Roswell and Dexter also all have walking programs within their schools where they encourage parents to come and walk with them.
Absolutely.
On a Wednesday or a Friday
Little
or
more
whatever.
bonding time.
Check
Absolutely.
with your elementary school, but every one of them have a program to help do that.
And all that helps cement that importance of physical fitness for your kids too. Even if you as a parent were missed some of those meetings, you want to make sure your kids are instilled with that stuff. So get out there and do that stuff with them. So please reach out. Healthy Kids Chavis County has a Facebook page. You can like and follow it. They're always sharing updates and things from not only the school districts, but
our
any
parks
other
and recreation, all sorts of things
that
all
stuff.
over.
So if you're looking for ideas on how to get your family out and involved, I'd highly recommend you like and follow Healthy Kids Chavis County Facebook page there too. If they, of course, come out to the meeting Thursday, again, 5 p.m. at Roswell High in the little theater there. Bring your questions with you. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate. I know you guys have Facebook and all that, or go to the district website, look up the food services,
Give us a call.
And Kim or Shelly be happy to get you more information about any of that kind of stuff. So, good deal. Did we get it all, ladies?
I think we did.
So.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
I'm sure you got some meals to get ready, so you probably need to get out of here because 8:50 and there's the dance is going on right now.
For sure.
So I'm sure you need to go do your parts in it. So thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Anytime. And by the way, yeah, if you're talking about all the amazing food and things that are going on, these two ladies here in southeast New Mexico, the odds are these two ladies are responsible for it. So when you see them out and about, give them an attaboy.
Thank you.
It is 8:56. Let's go ahead and take a quick break before news. Don't go away.
Big O Tire's biggest Black Friday sale is here. For a limited time, get unbeatable savings on the tire brands you know and trust, plus savings on brakes, oil changes, air filters, and more, all with multiple financing options tailored to you. These savings won't last. Make an appointment online at bigotires.com or stop in today. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Roswell Honda has knocked the stuffing out of the prices. Like a new 2024 Honda Civic Sedan for 3.9% for 48 months. A new Honda CR-V Sport Hybrid, leased now for just $369 a month. 2024 Honda Ridgeline 0.9% for 36 months. Or a new 2024 Honda Accord, now 2.9% for 48 months. Plus no payments for 90 days and super low monthly payments make this truly a November to remember. So don't be a turkey. Trot on down to the November to Remember sales event on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
It's back and bigger.
It's going to be intercepted.
And even better.
And has Beeman open. And he's caught it. And there's a dump pass for another touchdown.
The XL Energy Wool Bowl is back Friday, December 1st in Roswell, New Mexico. New Mexico's only college football bowl game below I-40. Food trucks, kids zone, pregame concert with Will Bannister. Purchase tickets now for only $5 at woolbowl.net.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 8:59. Got a minute here before we get you into news and all that. Of course, if you miss any part of our show, you can always check it out at your leisure. You just log on to ksvptv.com. Last hour, we had Christina Arnold, City Councilor, join us representing Ward 1, and Micah Spiritu from the Chavez County Roswell EDC. Of course, we're getting the Reno Air Races visit today and tomorrow. The big groups coming through town and going to be doing that. So we talked about that and talked about what to expect. And, of course, just a few minutes ago, we had Kim Meeks and Shelley Montgomery, food service directors for the Roswell Independent School District. Kim is, and, of course, Shelley is with Dexter Schools. And then we also had Becky Joyce with Healthy Kids Chavez County. They do have an informative meeting talking about the Senate bill here Thursday evening, 5 p.m. at Roswell High School in the little gym. Anyone with kids that eat in the school district probably should pay attention to that meeting and learn a little bit about what's going on there. A lot of good stuff. So it is closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News is coming up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. We'll be back.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. With the Israel-Hamas ceasefire due to expire today following one more hostage prisoner swap, there's a behind-the-scenes effort to keep the truce alive.
International mediators were pressing to extend the ceasefire in Gaza that is set to expire after Monday. The two sides had prepared for a fourth exchange of militant-held hostages for Palestinians imprisoned by Israel. Israel has said it would extend the ceasefire by 1 day for 10 additional hostages released. Hamas has also said it hopes for an extension of the 4-day truce, which was mediated by the United States, Qatar, and Egypt. I'm Karen Shamas.
Arraignment expected today for a 48-year-old Burlington, Vermont man charged in Saturday night's shooting of 3 men of Palestinian descent. The 3 20-year-olds are in the hospital, 2 in stable condition. The third suffers more serious wounds. Days after flocking to stores on Black Friday, shoppers taking advantage of more sales on this Cyber Monday.
Even though e-commerce is part of our everyday lives and much of the holiday shopping season, Cyber Monday continues to be the biggest online shopping day of the year, thanks to the deals and hype the industry has created to fuel it. Consumers are scouring the internet for online deals as they begin to cap off the 5-day post-Thanksgiving shopping bonanza with Cyber Monday. Black Friday generated $9.8 billion in online sales, according to Adobe Analytics, up 7.5% from a year ago, and Cyber Monday is expected to rake in $12 billion. I'm Julie Walker.
The Commerce Department releases its October snapshot of consumer spending and inflation, the report due out on Thursday. Watching Wall Street, the Dow down 65 points, the NASDAQ 1 point higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
6 French teenagers accused of complicity in the especially gruesome murder of a teacher have gone on trial.
It was a young Chechen origin man who had seen that Samuel Paty was being blamed on social media for allegedly having shown these cartoons of Mohammed, and took it on himself to avenge himself and the people of his kind on Samuel Paty by finding him, tracking him down and killing him.
That's BBC's Hugh Schofield in Paris. Iranian state media says the country's navy has added a destroyer to its Caspian Sea fleet. It's capable of launching cruise missiles. A report by the state-owned news agency says a 1,400-ton destroyer is able to launch torpedoes while traveling at 30 knots. It can detect more than 100 targets, including vessels, drones, helicopters, submarines, and aircraft simultaneously, according to Iranian state media. News and analysis, townhall.com. Remembering the life and legacy of a former First Lady.
Memorial events to honor former First Lady Rosalind Carter start Monday with a wreath-laying ceremony at Georgia Southwestern State University in the town of Americus, Georgia, about 15 minutes from Plains, where the First Lady went to college. Jill Stuckey, superintendent of the Jimmy Carter National Historic Park Service, tells reporters
Mrs. Carter will be buried here in Plains on their home property.
President Biden, Vice President Harris, and former First Lady Laura Bush scheduled to attend a tribute celebration for Mrs. Carter on Tuesday. Laura Winters, Atlanta.
A newly unsealed legal complaint claims Facebook's parent Meta deliberately engineered its social platforms to hook children. The complaint also alleges the company knew but never disclosed it received millions of complaints about underage users on Instagram. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy fearful.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM.
Yeah.
Happy Monday. Your post-Thanksgiving Monday.
Welcome to it.
Officially full-on Christmas season. So
That's right.
get in. Do your Christmas doings.
This is when I get legitimate, just out of nowhere, panic attacks.
Yeah.
It's sort of, I think it's just part of being a parent.
Right.
It's just like, oh no, the countdown is on and I have to do this and this and this and I haven't even thought about that or that or that. It's like, even, okay, I have a Christmas tree that I've had in storage I broke out every single year for the last 4. But it's really starting to look like the tree from Charlie Brown. Like it's missing branches and it leans a little bit because one of the legs is busted. So I kind of need to get a new one. But I just don't want to, because I feel like as soon as I put the tree up and then it's just it's on.
Yeah.
We're not even going to have Christmas at my house this year, but as soon as I put it up, the countdown to the holidays is on.
Yeah. Kids are going to be waiting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's happy Honda days for all of us.
So you're gonna get a new tree, or are you gonna try to?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a new tree, but I'm gonna go kind of small, like a little 4-footer, and just kind of put it up on I have a kind of a bar in my, in front of where my kitchen is.
Okay.
So I'll set it up there with some Christmassy stuff. And
well, I will tell you, like you already know, but I will tell you what I tell everybody else. You're going to buy Christmas trees and stuff. Don't go buy new ones. Go visit things like the Humane Society thrift store, or the or any of the thrift stores. The Roswell Refuge, any of the ones. They usually have a ton of this Christmas stuff, and it's way cheaper, especially for things you only use once a year that you're packing up. Like, you can spend hundreds of dollars on an artificial tree, or you can go there and probably spend $20 and get a practically brand new, lovely Christmas tree that someone else already spent hundreds of dollars.
I will say this: go to the thrift stores. Absolutely, check those places out, and do that because it'll save you the trouble of the mistake that I made. And this is the mistake. And I haven't made this mistake for this situation, but I have made this mistake in the past. If you are within a 400-foot vicinity of any woman and you say the following phrase, they're going to say, oh, I'll go with you. If you say,
okay,
I gotta go to Hobby Lobby, every woman within a 500-foot vicinity of me is like, ooh, what? You got to go to Hobby Lobby? Oh, I'll go with you. Okay, fine. You're the one.
You're the one.
You're the one. But every time I've been around a woman, I'm like, oh, I got to go to Hobby Lobby. They're like, oh, I'll go with you. Let's take 30 more minutes. I know. I'm the guy that knows where I need to go in that store and then get out.
See, I like that store.
They want to eyeball that place.
I like that store, but every time I go in there, I don't know what to do with my hands. I just walk around like, yeah, that's cool. I kind of would like it, but I don't know what to do with it. Let's move along.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
They have a section of that store that's devoted to people like you.
Yeah.
And what I mean is husbands that got drug into Hobby Lobby. Because right in the back, right around all the Cloisonne Everlast and all the wooden dowels and nonsense, they have a section of model cars.
Yeah, I see
of those build, die-cast, like
they're probably the only place around that you can still get those.
Oh yeah, yeah. All the hobby shops in town are pretty much closed down. So those are, and then next to that, they have stuff for me because they have a bunch of those weird science-y toys that are like build a crystal radio,
right?
All those like DIY things.
All the stuff you buy at like the Smithsonian Museum gift shops.
Yeah. The only thing they lack,
the astronaut ice cream, of course.
The only thing they lack, and this is something that I love going to museum gift shops for, is they usually have a tub of really polished, shiny rocks. And I kind of like playing in the rocks.
Yeah, you got to go to other places to play.
You're not allowed to do that in the tub of rice, or in the pinto beans, like I used to back in the day at the market.
Yeah, they get frowned upon that in the whole food section when you do it.
Yeah, post COVID especially. But yeah, you can mess around with them shiny rocks.
Oh, I loved rummaging through the gummy worms.
Oh, so you're the reason they put the sneeze guard
You're
up.
the one. Yeah,
there it is.
That's me.
There it is.
Actually, it was the gummy colas. That was my jam.
Oh, I love those.
The gummy colas.
You got to get them though at a right temperature because those have a tendency to be rock hard if they're a little cool.
Yeah, you gotta Got to put them in your pocket for a little bit. Get
That's
nice
fun.
and gushy.
John's having a blast out there on the spinny chairs. Let me get a wee.
Who needs Six Flags?
Exactly. That's how I keep my kids entertained when I have to come in on the weekends. I'm like, guys, I got the spinny chairs. It's fine.
Go spin in the chairs. Yeah. Who needs Six Flags?
Exactly. We got at least one.
We got spinny chairs from Glenn's Furniture.
Come on over to One Flag. It's Red Flag. Although, admittedly, that place did say, you shouldn't trust us. It is 6 red flags they're throwing up.
My brother, actually, I was talking to my brother over the weekend for Thanksgiving, and on Friday, he lives in Northern Virginia.
Yep.
He went to what's called King's Dominion, which is like Six Flags, but it's in Virginia. It's near Busch Gardens and everything. If y'all ever go to like Williamsburg, Virginia, and all that,
it's like Six Flags, but it's a lot closer to like a Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, it's the big theme park. It's right. Owned by Paramount. So it's it was King's Dominion. But anyway, they were open on Friday because they did like a holiday light show and all that. But then they opened some of the rides, and my brother has a season pass, so he gets to go in for free and all that. But he said they actually opened like a couple of the major roller coasters, even. Because I was thinking, oh, great, would they open the merry-go-round and like Yogi's Cave and a couple of the real kind of low-end stuff?
Right.
Now they had like 2 of the major roller coasters open and a bunch of other stuff. So he took his boys down, my nephews.
Nice.
They went down to King's Dominion on Friday and watched a Christmas light show and rode rides and made them puke.
Heck yeah.
So
that's the true way to ring in the season.
There you go. 'Tis the season. But
I do got to say, I got a chance to, and you called it because I turned on Peacock on Thanksgiving Day, and sure enough, they had the live Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which was also rewindable because I was already halfway into their broadcast.
Well, and I saw something weird because CBS showed it early. And then NBC showed it at like 10 o'clock.
Like what they ran it back to back.
Yeah. But it was on 2 different networks, which threw me off.
It usually is. But here's something else I learned about myself this year. It's not even so much the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade that I so look forward to this time of year, or that is my tradition. It's the NBC presentation of the because it has to be that, like, the interaction between the.
You need your Al Roker.
The comic, exactly. Got to have your Roker. Got to have your Hoda.
Well, and this year they had the 2 guys. The one was he's an actor. He was in
it was Andrew Rannells and Josh Gad.
Yes.
Were the 2. And those 2 were the original Book of Mormon cast. Okay. And they have a new play on Broadway that's, I believe, about Steve Gutenberg. Which I'm very intrigued. Although it did bring up a couple questions. There's an entire Broadway musical apparently all about corn. Did you see that performance of the corn song?
Oh,
where they said it's the same going in or coming out as it is going in.
I did see that. Yeah.
And then there's another musical which I'm very intrigued.
You paid
about.
A lot more attention than I did.
Yeah. Well, I had my daughter came in and we were kind of like zoned in.
Yeah.
There's another one that's all about a group of autistic kids who hold a dance, who are going to a dance in Ohio.
I saw that one.
It's that intrigues me because they have kids on the spectrum who are part of the music
cast. Yeah,
which I
did see that.
So yeah, but that's the thing is it has to be the NBC because they're the ones who have the mark on Herald Square, the green square.
Okay,
it's kind of like downtown. If you're at our parade, being in front of the courthouse is when everybody's going to put on their best performance because that's where the judges
are.
Right,
that's the main thing.
Right.
Well, and to me, that reminds me every year of how out of touch I am with pop culture. And why it reminds me of that, because there's either one of 2 things that are going on during the parade. Either they're cutting edge artists that I've never heard of, or they were popular 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was in vogue.
Yeah. I think Belle Biv DeVoe was on there or something.
Yeah.
Like, Belle Biv DeVoe?
Yeah. And then,
holy cow.
And then some K-pop group that I'd never heard of doing a Baby Shark song.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, these are either, like, they just barely out of diapers, or they were popular in the 90s.
You know what I saw this during the parade that I will never be able to unsee? There were no strings on the guitars. I never noticed it until this year.
Oh, I gotta look
now. At least on a few of the floats.
I gotta look now.
They were sitting strumming with stringless guitars.
Not even strings on them?
I was like, come on, at least put the strings on there.
Right?
Like, is that going to interfere with sound
if I was
or
doing
something?
that, I'd just wave the guitar around like nothing. And if I was going
Right.
to think, why am I doing
like
this?
in Airheads, you just...
Yeah. Yeah, why not? You know, we all know that I'm not really playing. Let's ham this up. So anyway, but yeah. So well, I'm glad you enjoyed that.
It was
I did
nice.
sit through most of it.
It was nice to get
Part of it.
Rhiannon involved. Although this was one of the funniest things that happened, but also kind of indicated that my son is way too cynical for 5. It was the end of the parade. Obviously, Santa Claus comes out.
Yeah,
So my son's off doing his own thing. He's watching TV or whatever. And I call him back. I was like, Hunter, come here. I want you to see Santa Claus. He comes out. He sits on the couch between me and Rhiannon. And he goes, and this is like verbatim what he said. That's fake. Those are real people. Those reindeer are fake. I'm like, where is your sense of whimsy, my boy?
Kids nowadays, they don't have it. We had to pretend a lot. They don't.
It was those words in that order. That's fake. Those are real people. Those reindeer are fake. Dang, dude.
Well, and let's face it. Nowadays, parents have all these tools to sell their, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like on Christmas, they've got like the Santa cams and they got the trackers and Santa's in Australia now.
Yeah.
Ooh. They had none of that when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, they did.
They just had to lie and make it up.
They had it. It was harder to find. Like ours back in the day was you had to call the number, and when you called the number, it would tell you where they were at.
Yeah, well, I guess my parents never put me onto that stuff.
It wasn't so much my parents. I just learned about it on TV, and I was like, "Ooh, let's do this thing."
They
now.
just tell me I have to go to bed at 7:30 or Santa Claus wouldn't come.
Well, the babysitter, aka cable TV, told me what to do.
So I just sit in bed, rocking around till I pass out for an hour, and then wake back up and sneak in after dark.
Go to bed. It's Dad's adult beverage time.
That's right. But we should start the hour
We
here.
should.
We do have John and Crystal Noble joining us from Roswell Seed. Give us an update what's happening there. Later on this hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll stay a little on the cool side today with some cloud cover. We have a weak low-pressure trough moving through, about 50 for the afternoon high. Some lingering cloud cover and low 30s for the overnight hours, and then we should get a little bit more sunshine on Tuesday, and it will be a bit warmer. Highs back in the upper 50s. We're in the low 60s, and we're looking at sunshine for Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 37 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 54%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. 50s today under mostly cloudy skies. 54 officially with south winds 5 to 10. Tonight mostly cloudy, then gradually clearing. Looking at an overnight low of 31 with south winds at around 5 miles per hour. Sunny on Tuesday. Looking at high of 58 tomorrow. Northwest winds at 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, cloudy, with an overnight low of 34 degrees, south winds 5 to 10. Looking at the rest of the week, partly cloudy with a high of 61 for Wednesday. Thursday, they're saying a 20% chance of showers for the afternoon. Partly cloudy, highs near 60. Friday, looking at partly cloudy skies, 57 for a high there. And then sunny and 60 on Saturday, sunny and 60 on Sunday as well. All right, it is 9:20. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll talk Roswell Seed on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
At Artesia General Hospital, our emergency department experts care for more than 10,000 people each year. Our emergency department is open 24 hours a day, and there's always a doctor on duty. We specialize in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma services, making sure you have access to quality care when every second counts. From unexpected illness to serious injuries, you can trust our team to provide exceptional emergency care in any situation. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Hey neighbors, there's a new source for all your appliance needs in the area. We're Roswell Appliance Outlet. We sell new minor scratch and dent appliances and we'll help you save 40 to 60% off of MSRP. All come with warranty and personalized service. We also offer parts and service for your existing household appliances. We offer financing and delivery options as well. Don't make that big box store mistake. Come see us at Roswell Appliance Outlet today at 600 South Main in Roswell or call 575-363-9236.
At New Mexico Gas Company, our priority is your safety. That's why we add a rotten egg smell to natural gas to help alert you of the presence of natural gas. So if you ever notice a rotten egg smell, it might be a natural gas leak. We recommend that you leave the area immediately. And from a safe distance, call New Mexico Gas Company at 1-888-NM-GAS-CO or 911. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, wearing their Roswell Seed hats this morning.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm wearing my Cowboys
You do have
hoodie.
your Cowboys hoodie on today, but John and Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Well, you're a Raiders fan.
I'm
right?
a Raiders fan, yes. Yeah.
We're not talking about that game yesterday either.
Although
we could talk about that game.
I'm a huge Antonio Pierce fan. He used to play for the Redskins back in the day before he played for the Bills. He was drafted by the Redskins and played for the Redskins, and they let him go for some dumb reason. And he went on to have a great career at the Bills, and now he's probably going to be a head coach. I would know permanently for the Raiders.
I don't know. I'd like to kind of see it.
So far, so good. He's doing all right. So,
Yeah.
You know, considering he's a guy that literally was a player 3 years ago and was like, what, linebackers coach or something?
Yeah, he was a linebackers coach.
Yeah, something pretty obscure.
Well, he grew up in L.A. He watched the Raiders. That was during the time
That's his team, okay.
That's when Raiders went to L.A. for, what was it, 4 years?
Okay.
Something like
But
that.
he was always a class act as a player, as everything else. So I'm a fan of Antonio Pierce. I hope he does well in Oakland or Las Vegas now. Sorry.
Switch, yeah. I bought her that. I don't buy. I don't buy Cowboy stuff.
I feel your pain. I too
yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
My wife is a Cowboys fan. I've bought Cowboy shirts.
Yeah.
I've worn them in bets lost.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been there. I've done
Yeah,
that.
she had to do that. And then I couldn't believe, somehow the pictures made it to Facebook. I have no idea how that happened. But,
Moments after the photo was taken?
No.
Yes.
Was not
Yes,
more
it was.
like seconds.
Yeah, it's dirty business.
It
but
is.
Sometimes
It is.
you got
But
to
it was totally, completely worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got her a couple of times with that.
Well, 2018, I think it was, or 17. We all went because all my family, my mother-in-law, brother, they're all Cowboys fans. I'm the one loner on this side. And so, yeah, I think it was 2018. It was the last time the Redskins and the Cowboys played each other on Thanksgiving.
Right.
And we went to that game and sat in the nosebleeds. And Kirk Cousins was our quarterback then. Dallas still won. So I heard a lot leaving the stadium. I was wearing a Redskins jersey, of course.
Yeah.
And,
Long drive home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole trip that made me the most mad, it was 2018. And I'm sitting there, and there was quite a few Redskin fans, to be honest, more than I expected in the stadium. But in like about 6 rows below me were these two couple, husband and wife, I'm assuming, a couple. sitting there in Redskins jerseys. But of all the jerseys they pick, and this is 2018, mind you, she's got an RG3 jersey on, which if it was 2012, cool club.
Yeah.
2018, not so much.
Right.
Her husband donning an Albert Hainsworth jersey. I'm like, two of the most hated people in Redskins lore right now, and you're donning their jerseys at Cowboy Stadium. You need to turn in your fan cards right now. You're not allowed to be a fan of mine. Go root for the Cowboys. You can't root for my team.
They're
Not with dumbness like that.
They're waiting for a butt whooping, and not by the Cowboys. Their own team, their own fans are gonna gang up on them.
Yeah, I was like, you're so wrong. But anyway,
that stuff's horrible.
How was y'all's Thanksgiving?
It was busy but great.
Good deal. You do all the cooking because you're a control freak and you have to.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what was on tap for Thanksgiving for you guys?
Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, carrots, beets, cranberry sauce, mashed potato. Oh, I already said
Now
mashed
you're just
potato.
listing foods now. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
Rolls.
You had like 6 vegetables in there. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I didn't
Beets, corn, carrots.
Pasta salad.
Okay.
And then I made key lime pie, cherry pie, pumpkin pie, and a cherry butter bread.
Wow. So when did you start cooking?
Wednesday.
All that up from Wednesday to Thursday?
I did the pies and pasta salad Wednesday, and then everything else was finished on Thursday.
Wow, that's a lot.
I wasn't allowed nowhere near the kitchen. Like, she had a gun. I was like, this is not cool.
Like,
you know?
Look, I won't come in, but throw something out.
Yeah.
No, he got breakfast. He got cinnamon rolls for breakfast, and then he got a sampler for a snack because we did Thanksgiving a little bit later.
All right.
And then he got his plenty of portions.
Nice.
And
my
then
only job was to pick up the turkey. That was my only job.
Yeah, you were allowed in the kitchen.
Did you carve
under
it?
strict eye.
Were you the carver of the turkey?
No,
Nah.
actually, I didn't. I didn't even know the turkey had come out or anything until she started walking in
See,
with plates.
My father-in-law gets up at like 4 in the morning every day just because he does. And so he got up. And so he's actually one that pulls the turkey out at 4 in the morning because it was about ready around then. And then he carved the turkey. I think it's because, you know how it is, the dads and the rules. And
Yeah.
So, and since he's there, I think even though it's my house, it's still technically he gets to carve the turkey. I just show
Well,
him.
I mean, and you know, she's got that really cool knife set that I got her. So I thought, man, the carving of the turkey this year is going to be a piece of cake because it just cut right there. And I didn't get to play.
do it.
No, I didn't even get to play with it.
Did it. Well,
No, and then you had Thanksgiving again all over at work the next day.
Yeah.
I've been eating Thanksgiving every day for the last 4 days.
No, so this was the rule. I was told on Friday, since they were working, that I needed to bring food. So everything Thanksgiving minus his pumpkin pie went to Roswell Seed that morning after I got off work. So they had Thanksgiving to munch all day long. And I said, there will be no leftovers coming back to my house. Thanksgiving is done. It's over with. My kitchen is clean. There's nothing Thanksgiving.
I still have a bunch in the house, and Sean's telling me that I'm not really supposed to eat it after today because it's, according to the officials, that's when it's supposed to throw away or freeze. And there's so much there. I'm willing to give up the sweet potatoes and the okra. I've had a good fill of that, but I can't let the turkey die. I just can't. Yeah, I can't in good
What
conscience.
size of turkey did y'all get?
It was like a 16-pounder.
I made a 20-pounder, and there ain't left.
Well, we had 6 of us.
I had 10.
See, so we only had 6. So and they were all adults that weren't like me, fat glutinous hogs. They literally eat like one portion, and like
That's
they're
it?
good. Yeah, and
Losers.
I'm like, yeah.
That's just yeah. You got to. She was making plates.
Like
And-
yesterday for lunch, I had a full Thanksgiving for lunch because that's what was left in the fridge. So I had sweet potatoes, dressing, turkey. I had to get some more gravy because we used all the giblet gravy, but there's so much dressing left that I need some kind of gravy to get that sucker down.
Yeah.
So I had to go
Oh.
buy some gravy to finish the job.
Oh, that's pretty.
No, she brought it all in on Friday, and the guys wiped it out.
Yeah.
So it's Dad always laughs because he says 2 times a year that employees get paid to eat, and it's the day after Thanksgiving, and then it's the fair parade. Those are the 2 days because really, yeah. And we didn't even get, I don't think, a single person in Friday.
One
One
customer, remember, it was $39.
Oh yeah.
People just weren't into Black Friday shopping at Roswell?
No, there was a few phone calls asking if the stuff was on sale for Black Friday.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It's like, are you guys having like a Black Friday sale? It's like, yeah, come down. We'll throw a bag of potting soil at you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like, no, we're not.
We don't exactly have gifts you put under the tree per se.
Yeah.
Gift certificate.
And I mean, basically the only reason that we stay open is we have a couple of farmers right now that are still planting.
Sure.
So it's like
they got work to do.
Yeah. And then Dad had people at his house that he probably didn't want to be around. That's why he said, Friday, we're being.
Oh, I get that. We're open on Friday, even though we only got one customer.
Yeah.
I'm not at home.
Yeah.
That's why we're open today.
Basically,
I
that's
get that.
what it boiled down to.
Yeah, it
it's
makes
like,
sense.
yeah. So we sat around and I got put football on the computer.
Yeah, because I had you sign into Amazon so that way
That's
you
right,
could
because it was
watch.
Black Friday football game.
Yeah.
For the first time, I think, in history there,
Yeah.
NFL game.
So it wasn't too bad.
Good deal. But that being said, now's a good time to come visit Roswell. See,
Oh, yeah.
You know, there are actually gift ideas for. if you
There's
got
still 3
throwing-
amaryllises left.
Okay.
Somebody needs to come and buy them so I don't have to.
Yeah, pick up these plants and things, or
no.
See.
It's for the sake of his marriage.
Yeah.
Buy these plants.
Buy the plants. Come in and buy the plants.
So he doesn't
You can
have to take
actually
them
give those as gifts. If you get them, plant them,
Plants are great gifts.
and then, gift them to somebody, so that way they can nurture it and take care of it and then
Absolutely.
grow their own amaryllis.
And maybe you have a green thumb on your list that needs the gear to do that stuff. You guys can help them out with that kind of stuff. you
If
know?
I buy you a plant as a gift, you'd shoot me.
You're my husband. That's not allowed.
Yeah.
No,
Other
I'm
people.
kidding. No, there are certain plants that,
But you-
yes, would be perfectly
yeah,
suitable.
if you work at the store that sells the plants, then that doesn't count as a gift. But if you were like not in the plant business,
Yeah,
and you
okay.
gave a plant, then you're okay.
Yeah.
That's like you throwing a packet of green chili seeds at me saying happy anniversary. That'd be like me throwing a bag of dog food.
It's like
at
I
you
can't
saying,
buy my wife a radio for Christmas.
Yeah, that would, okay.
Be
I
a
get
faux
it.
pas.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of get it now.
But okay, so Christmas is coming.
It is.
It is.
Whether you want to or not, it's coming.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, be ready. 'cause it's
However,
coming.
we already did ours.
Nice. Good for you. Wish I could say that.
I'm an anxious little child, and I couldn't wait for him to open his gift. So I was like, here, we're doing this now.
Ah.
Yeah,
hence
Saturday.
Hence the shirt you're wearing today, I take it?
Yeah, Saturday. She's all like, here, open this. And I'm like, that's the great thing about being married. Well, one of the great things about being married to her, she can't keep nothing a secret.
Right.
And she
From
can't
him,
keep-
no.
Yeah. Well,
kind of
one, one year she thought she was really cool. I guessed every one of my presents.
Ah.
She was so mad. She didn't talk to me for like 2 days. Yeah. And, like she's sitting there, Candy, can't wait me doing it. Yeah. Trying to explain to her, okay, in the military, you learn certain things. I've been through Sears training.
Yeah.
So you use the person that is doing the asking of the questions, and you ask them questions.
Sure.
And you're trained to figure out more about the person that's asking you
It's
questions.
like married to a police officer. They're
More or
good,
less,
good
yeah.
at kind of finding out information.
And-
Military, same kind of way.
Yeah, and I did that, and she was pissed. Oh my God, she was so mad.
See, my wife hates surprises, and I kind of like doing surprises.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really tough because she does, like, if I even hint at something like that, she's literally like that dog from Looney Tunes that just jumps up and down and like, where are we going, boys? Where are we going, George? Where are we going, George? It's literally that until I spill the beans.
Right.
So
Well-
I either don't do it or I don't say a word until it happens.
Well,
because
what
she'll
made
go
matters
crazy.
worse was this. So we had Thanksgiving. Everybody was gone. She came in and she was all like, cleaned. Don't even know Thanksgiving happened, type of deal. And I'm
Kitchen's
like,
closed.
yeah.
Thanksgiving never happened.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And she said, Thanksgiving is over. I was sitting there. I was like, what? She's like, Thanksgiving's over. So I jump up and I take off running. And she's all like, where the hell you go? So I ran out. I got the Christmas tree. Because she told me, she was all like, you cannot put up the Christmas tree until Thanksgiving is over. I was like, okay.
So that was the official green light to go get the tree.
Right. Yes. And I ran and grabbed the tree and I brought it in. She wasn't talking to me. And so I put up the tree. I mean, we didn't put up our big tree. She bought this little gnome
Like a side tree.
Yeah,
it's
it's so
cute.
small.
It's
that's
cute.
So
adorable.
that's the one I went up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, that one up. So there was a couple hours where she wasn't talking to me, but it was worth it. I thought it was at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, you sure. You know,
I just hate the people that decorate for Christmas at like Halloween.
Yeah,
Like
I
let
agree
other
with that.
holidays happen and then decorate for Christmas.
Well, and that's what I said this morning.
It has its own month.
I said this morning, I said, if Thanksgiving's officially over, you're now greenlit to decorate your houses for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's officially appropriate.
I waited for the word from the official commander.
Oh my God.
She's only being called commander. She's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Which she should be happy because the
control
commanders.
freak.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the control freak.
We're good
Yeah.
at stinking, by the way. Our team is.
You know, I don't know. Like I'll say every time, Cowboys will do the best and then they get so ahead of themselves and then it's just like they forget.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, football,
Uh,
we're supposed to be playing? And then they lose. And I'm like, whoa.
They even had time to plot putting turkey legs in the Salvation Army barrel.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I give him props for that one. That was
great.
pretty
Unless your team's the team that they're making
that
fun
they're
of
whooping
and
the hell
not so
out of,
hot
right?
there. But,
Yeah.
But my team deserved it. They stink. So.
And I love how I watched the Cowboys. I'm like, how many games have you watched?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Not this year because I've been in the kitchen cooking.
Yeah, well, that's not my fault.
You got to eat.
No, I don't. I can make my own cereal. It's not that hard. She'll scream from the kitchen, "What's the score?" And I'm like, I'm not going to be the middleman. No.
And you always are the middleman.
Sounds like you need to put a little TV in the kitchen.
That's what that's what I said on Thanksgiving Day. I was like, we need to put a TV in here so that way I can watch football while I'm cooking.
There you go. That's the reason why they had TVs in the kitchens in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I could do a little drop down thing. I was like, you sure can.
I had mentioned that a while ago that, I'm just going to put a TV in the bathroom. I'll never see you again.
Yeah.
You won't. I won't. You
Well, if
live
I
in
put
the
a TV
bathroom.
in the kitchen, I'll never see you again.
Yes, you will.
No.
Yes, you will.
Only when you come out and bring a plate and then walk back in.
No.
Well, you put one in the bathroom, he's got to come out. He's got to go to the kitchen at some point. There's no point going to the bathroom all the time.
Right. Unless
You have DoorDash come to the bathroom window, go on the back porch, there's a window.
I was just thinking I could cut like a little deal out where I could just like open it up and reach into the kitchen,
Little
grab
mail
my
slot.
plate,
Yeah.
close it.
No.
Like a dumbwaiter.
Yeah.
No.
It was like the other day, we had some friends over and she was yelling at me from the kitchen. I was standing kind of in the hallway and then there's the living room and I was standing there and she was like, ask them, and I'm all like, you
It
guys
was
want
Thanksgiving.
I was like, you guys need something to drink or want something to drink? Yeah, it's not need, but it's like, you guys want something to drink?
Right.
And they go, oh yeah, this. And so I go yelling in. I'm like, I feel like I'm at the Waffle House.
You put my food on pictures on the menu and we got Waffle House.
So I started
He's
yelling
all-
orders at her,
He's all, we got 2 Flappy Jacks with some Cool Whip. I was laughing. I was like, oh my God.
That's pretty cool.
And then it was kind of like the Waffle House because then we got into a fight afterwards.
Yeah, just
No, we
like
didn't.
Waffle House.
Huh? Yeah, because I was telling you to make all kinds of stuff when you were yelling.
Yeah. It's not a fight. That's just you being you.
That's just what I do, yelling at you. That's not a fight.
Yeah,
That's just,
it's just
Tuesday.
yelling.
It's just what we do on this day.
Yeah.
But, bring it back to Roswell Seed here. Talking, like, I guess, is it really, like, the things people looking for now, is it really just last-minute gift idea type things, or is it?
No, I mean, people, they're getting ready to start fertilizing their pecan
So
trees.
fertilizing's probably a big thing to be buying right now.
Yeah,
getting
because
fertilizer.
once all the pecans drop and you pick them up, fertilize.
Yeah,
and that's just kind of general rule.
It's that time of year now that we're getting in the colder months. It's time to fertilize and feed and nurture these, especially your dormant crops and things like
Right.
that will be coming back in the
Yeah.
spring here. You want to set the table and get the soil ready, basically.
People getting their gardens, mulched in, and we have some hardcore gardeners. I mean, they're hardcore.
Sure.
And they're already tilling the soil and
Well,
covering it with black plastic.
The
and,
more rich in nutrients the soil is, the better your product's going to
Oh, yeah.
be. And that's so you got to really, it's just like kids. You want a healthy kid, you got to feed them right, and
Yeah.
give them the right foods, and it's no different than a plant.
Cereal is not feeding my child right.
Well, you give me cereal every once in a while when you don't want to cook.
Well, some cereal's okay if it doesn't have like a cartoon character guy on it. But
All
if
my
it's-
cereals have cartoon characters. They all have cartoon characters.
Mine's got either got a count or a
Yeah.
or a bird that's a little crazy.
Or a wolf. Cookie crisps.
No, what's the worst is so she put the cereal in this see-through tub.
Mm-hmm. I know.
A container.
Tupperware tub.
But there's a purpose for it because there's mice, and I don't want them eating through the bag and getting your cereal.
Plus, it
And
does
then she
keep
doesn't
the
have-
cereal fresher.
And then there's no milk in the refrigerator.
Because I finished it with Thanksgiving dinner.
And I'm sitting there looking, and I'm all like, cereal? No milk. I'm like, that's rude.
It's like Kool-Aid with no sugar.
It is a rough feeling. I know.
Yeah. So I
And then you're like, what can I use as an alternative for milk?
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm
there's
not
really
doing
not
water.
good answers.
No.
Not even beer. Beer does not work.
So
with
I
cereal.
figure I'm just going to go into the closet and I'm going to take all of her pants. And there you go.
God.
You know?
Yeah, you guys are vindictive.
Oh yeah.
That's where the fight starts. Is the vindictive side.
We were already starting this morning, so she bought me crack in a cup and whatever that is, a vanilla
Latte.
It was a latte.
Yeah.
I don't drink that stuff.
Right.
So she gets me all amped up and then brings me here and then tells me, behave.
You just put liquid crack in me for the last hour. Now you asked me to behave.
I
So.
brought you breakfast to kind of mellow it out.
Yeah, it worked out real well.
You should have.
So while you and Sean were on the radio, he's up there sitting in the chair and he's all,
Yeah.
it's spinning, and I'm like, oh my God.
Sure, you don't want to give him like a turkey biscuit to make him sleepy a little bit. Get some of that tryptophan in there.
No, that's guerrilla warfare. That's chemical warfare.
It's not. It's already in the turkey. I did not add it. It's not an added.
And that's been my other problem with Thanksgiving. Like I've been eating. Like yesterday, I had Thanksgiving meal. At 2:00, I was already.
Yeah.
Just passed out every day this week.
I never get to do that.
Oh.
Once I got to actually take a noon nap. It's been like 6 years, and I got to take a noon nap.
Yeah.
And that was only by mistake.
Well, that turkey
You
does
had
it
a
to me
noon
every
nap
time.
this last weekend.
When?
Not this weekend, but the weekend before.
When?
On Sunday.
No.
Yes. For like an hour. And then Calvin came over.
No, I was going to say falling asleep on the couch to appease the dogs. It's not technically a nap.
No, you were in the bedroom.
Was I?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this.
A bedroom nap.
Yeah.
Even better.
Oh, I had a bedroom nap? Man, I got to start putting this stuff on the calendar.
You should pay attention to these things.
I know.
But
and I get mad at that because, man, I'm horrible. Well, don't you remember? No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
You did this. I was like, no. And I think she just makes crap up and then tells me because I'm going to be like, do I want to sit here and fight about it? Or
Right.
yeah, okay, whatever.
Right.
And generally it's, yeah, okay, whatever. And then I go about my business.
Stuff.
I'm bad at remembering things too. I mean, certain things I remember, but then there's things like, remember we did go there. I'm like, we did?
Yeah.
All right. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like, you remember that I said this on this day? Oh, of course I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So-
just it too. I say a lot of things. Be like, you said, and I'm like, I say a lot of things.
Yeah.
You can't hold me to everything I say.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean,
However,
after a
he
while-
can't remember our conversations, but he could remember conversations at work.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't even remember them. Next time I just shoot from the hip. Did you talk to someone? Yeah. No.
No, my brain's right. Like I won't remember the conversation, but I'll remember a line from Hot Shots.
Yeah.
From 10 years.
Yeah.
That just sticks in my head. I was
We're
doing that
just
all
built
weekend.
different. Sorry, we're not wired like you guys are.
I was doing that all weekend. My father-in-law was like, how do you remember these lines from all these movies? Because I was doing it. Oh, that's from like that from this thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do you know all this stuff? I was
Oh,
like,
my gosh,
This is
yeah.
my superpower. This is what sits in my brain.
Sorry.
Look at you drooling over here.
Oh, laughing so hard. Sorry. That's horrible.
That's right.
You need to get him a bib now.
Yeah. So.
Well, you are my handler. Give me a bib. Where's my bib? My handler.
That's right.
How many people have a handler?
I get it sometimes.
Marines don't have handlers.
You do.
Sometimes we need them. I'm not going to lie. We do need a handler. I know there's times where I'm like, all right, my wife should reel me in right now.
Yeah. I don't even have to worry about I don't even have to think that. She thinks it for me.
Right.
You know?
Now, there's moments like, I'm going too far. My wife needs to reel me in right
Yeah.
now.
Cam, hurry up. Stop it.
I know when I've gone too far when I get like a plate of food or something. I'm like, oh, okay. So now I could use it against me. Then when Sean was talking about the Hobby Lobby. So
He's not allowed in Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, I got drug out of Hobby Lobby.
Did you?
Yeah.
In Albuquerque.
It was her fault.
No, it wasn't.
Hell was. It was her fault.
Yeah.
And so I acted upon her mouth mistake,
Ah.
and I got drug out. She drugged me out.
Nice.
Yeah, and I wasn't really kicking and screaming, but I was making a scene.
I was a problem.
I was.
I'm pretty sure our photos are up in the break room at Hobby Lobby. That says watch for these two.
No enter. These two right here.
Well, she was looking at something I forgot, and of course I'm me.
Right.
You know, I hate shopping. She's like, you need to come to Walmart. No, I don't need to go to Walmart. You need to come to Walmart with me. No, because then we go to Walmart and I get yelled at because she's like, every time I bring you, I spend an extra $30. Well, then don't bring me.
Right.
Let's just cut out the middleman. There we go. So she was looking at something, and I'm bouncing around as normal. And I come walking up behind her, and I just smacked her right in the butt with this wooden spoon. And she swung around. She was on the wooden spoon and said, "Be thankful." So I was all like, "Be thankful." So I go trotting, bouncing off again, and I went down like another aisle or whatever. And she come up behind me. She's like, "Hey, what do you think?" And I mean, I didn't even look. It was like an over the shoulder, just. I had a pillow. Just boom! I hit her in the face with it. And the pillow said, "Be thankful." Yeah. So she's getting mad by now,
Yeah, I can see that.
Now I got her.
Yeah.
It's like right where I want her. And so she's all like, we're supposed to be looking for a
Christmas ornament.
Christmas ornament.
It was our
year.
first Christmas, and we were supposed to be picking out an ornament, and you're beating me inside the store.
It was always a pillow.
The wooden spoon left a mark.
Yeah. And so she got mad, and she made a rhetorical observation and called me something. So I acted out on it. Complete with a dragging foot and everything. And I was loud about it. And so she grabbed me.
That's when the fight started, and you got dragged out of the Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, because I was yelling I was special.
He was yelling, "You don't love me because I'm special."
Oh,
but
wow.
With a lisp.
With a lisp. Oh, yeah. It was great.
I could see how that'd be slightly embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
The cashiers from the front of the store came to the back of the store because he was so loud.
And, she had me by the arm, and I was like on the ground, like, "Ow!"
Should have told him this is my hobby. I act immature. That's my hobby.
Yeah.
And ironically, the only store he likes to go into is Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
The
like
science
I
stuff. Yeah, I want to buy all that.
I like going in there. I just don't know what to do with my hands because I'm like, I don't know do I want this. I think I do, but what am I going to do with it?
I got in trouble because I was rearranging the letters.
Yeah.
And she come by, "You can't." Yeah, Dad.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Marines can spell. It's not hard.
Well, and I'm one of those people that because I grew up in Maryland and D.C. area, so when I go to Texas and literally everybody decorates their home with that big star.
Yeah.
I'm just like, we don't need it. So every time I see the star in Hobby Lobby, I'm just like, get rid of these. We don't need them. These are overused decor for homes here. It's even spilled out of Texas. I'm like, you don't even live in Texas. Why do you have a big star on your?
Yeah.
Go away with that.
Go away with that. Yeah. No, we did. I don't know. There was a bunch of letters, and I made
Hobby Lobby put them stars out.
Yeah, I made this whole sentence with all the letters. She got mad.
I'm sure it was not a family-friendly sentence.
No, it wasn't. But I did use the little and exclamation points, so you couldn't really tell what it said.
Well,
but it was there.
If you ever go to Walmart,
kids nowadays can tell what that means because they have phones.
Well, if you ever go to Walmart or Target and you hit the radio section and all the radios are on 106.5, that was me when I rolled through there. I'm
when
that
they
guy.
used to have those radios where you could go and change it. Now that you can't even touch them.
I used to go and change all the stations. 106.5, 106.5, 106.5.
That's genius.
You can't even touch them now. You have to ask for somebody to come and open the container.
Yeah, I used to go and hit them, all the boom boxes and do all that stuff. That was me.
Oh. I was the one that turned the volume up on high so that way when somebody was testing it, it blasted their eardrums.
Yeah.
That was me.
Same with rental cars. I always, got to put the presets in. 106.5, 106.5, 106.5.
And here I am getting my ass whipped by some 5-year-old kid on that video game,
Oh, yeah.
When they had the Nintendo or whatever out, and you could play the one whatever game it was.
Yeah.
And I'd be sitting there, and some little kid come over, and I hand him the
he
controller.
Smokes you.
Like, let's go. Yeah. And he's like, his fingers are just like, I'm like, I didn't even know Mario Kart could do that.
I think they're born with a game pad in their hands now.
Yeah. I'm telling you because I'm like, that's too many buttons. How can I put it
that's
like
our
this
problem.
to do this?
We grew up with one button.
Yeah, Pong.
The joystick.
Now there's 7.
There's 14 or something on the Xbox One controller.
Yeah.
I remember the first video game was Pong.
Yeah.
And we I got a Pong.
Uh-huh,
and
we did too.
I was like the coolest kid on the block.
And we had the
You know?
fancy Pong that it came with a gun attachment, and it had a black screen with a white square that went around, and you could shoot the square. So we had like a Pong Deluxe.
Oh.
And so it had, like for the Pong, it just had that cylinder with the little spinny.
Yeah.
And that was your Pong cubes, but with the Deluxe, we had like a gun that you could also.
Well, see, my buddy, he got the Pong, but he got the cool one because the Pong paddle's detached.
Ah.
Because when you're playing Pong, I mean, you can nudge the other guy real good and you screw up.
Yeah, because
then you win. No, it was all on the same deal.
Ours was on a cord.
Yeah, that's what he had.
Yeah, we had that
so you
too.
could get like opposite ends of the room.
Yeah, and you could actually get like 3 feet apart to do it. Before,
And then-
you're right next to it.
And then you tried, chemical warfare after that. I mean, nobody was leaving Pong. It didn't matter if you ate Hormel chili or not, and you were gassing everybody. I mean, you'd hold your breath and,
Yeah.
you were winning at Pong.
Now, granted, all the sports were the same, even though they were different. Like, here's soccer, here's hockey, here's
it's still
table
the red
tennis.
dot.
They're all the same sport. Just they put a line here if there's a goal, or sometimes there's not one.
Oh, I remember when my uncle got me a watch that had a race car game on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh.
I'll never forget when pole position became available as like an Atari
arcade,
game.
yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Because it was an arcade game, and it was a big deal because you sat in it and drove.
Right.
And then they made it an Atari game, and I'm like, but you could, obviously, but that was such a big deal.
Or what was the other one? Track and field.
Yeah.
I remember track and field. And then the guys that used to cheat, they would take like one of the plastic knives so they could hit it, and it would hit real fast on both buttons to make the dude run like, like Carl Lewis.
Yeah, they're
and
cheaters.
you're sitting there pushing on it with your one finger, and you got a cramp, and
Yeah.
Oh well.
I hated those kids.
I know, they were so smart.
Well, I just saw the time. We better get what we got to get to here. It's almost 10 o'clock.
So yeah, come in, visit. I mean, it's fertilization time. You can still put down lawn seed. We have no pansies left. Sorry,
they're
gone.
Gone. They are officially pansy list.
But we do have the bulbs that you would plant now for spring.
Okay.
So they have paper whites, and I always call them paper weights, but they're paper whites. The amaryllis, the tulips, and then I can't say the ones that.
Don't ask
I
me.
can't pronounce
just
them.
work there.
Yeah.
They're toxic to animals, ironically, and I like them.
I'm not popular to contrary belief. I am not a gardener. I'll help you plant 1,000 acres in alfalfa, oats, wheats. Well, that's my specialty.
Yeah, you're a crops guy, not a garden guy.
You're not a garden guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I could tell you about your lawn. Perfect. This is what you do. This is how you do it. Yeah. You're gonna have an outstanding lawn. No. I mean,
But if you do have garden questions, there are people at Roswell Seed that can help you with all of that.
Yeah.
So whether it's commercial grade or backyard, there's someone that can help you navigate.
Just meaning that I don't do it doesn't mean that I don't.
Yeah, you
know
specialize
about
in the bigger stuff.
Yeah,
crops and things like that.
I mean, but gardens
if you're wanting to plant watermelon or whatever in the backyard, then we got folks that can help you do that.
I mean, I can help you with that, but
Gladiolas.
And then there's another one.
So that it like all these bulbs and stuff. Do you plant them in pots indoors right now and then transfer them, or they go right into the outside?
They go,
okay.
yeah, they go
They
outside.
are cold weather plants.
They have to have a cold weather snap in order for them to begin.
Oh, start their whole germination process. And
basically.
All that. Okay, I got you.
So,
but now's the time you put them in the ground.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, you're getting a little bit late, so get in quick.
So get in there, before it gets too cold.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You need to hurry up and do yours. Here we go again.
But come down Come down and talk to Roswell Seed if you want to get some of these plants for the spring. Now's the time to be putting them in the ground, which the good ones, which are not the good ones to be planting right now. Let them talk to you about that kind of stuff. And of course, if you do, because everyone has a favorite flower, favorite piece of produce. And if you want to know when to put it in the ground, when to do all that, talk to Roswell Seed, because this might be the time of the year. They might say, no, you need to call back in the fall and talk to me, or come back in the spring and talk to me.
Well, there was a lady that came in. She's genius. She came in and she got like 10 of our seed catalogs. And she mails them out with her Christmas cards to all of her friends. And on the back, it tells you month by month how to plant
it's
and everything.
your cheat sheet for everything growing.
It's the Bible.
So, yeah, I call it the Bible. And she mailed it out to all of her friends. So I'm like, that's genius. And she was all like, yeah. She's like, they can call you guys and stop calling me. I'm like, that's...
By the way, that's a great Christmas gift, that almanac with all the...
it is.
It is, especially if you got a person that loves to garden or grow or do that kind of stuff. That book is full of great information, not only about growing, but just life in general. Really.
Yeah, they have little stories in there.
Life lessons and everything
like
else.
Yeah.
It's
The almanac did say we're in for a cold, wet winter.
okay.
Yeah, it said that last year too. But,
Choice
you know,
bathroom reading material.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You can learn a lot by using the toilet frequently. I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
You
see?
can. You can. I
get in trouble.
when I'm on the toilet, I'm always in reading, taking it. I grew up. Me and Uncle John's bathroom readers were simpatico.
Yeah. My dad would go in with the newspaper and read like half of it.
I have a whole collection of Uncle John's bathroom readers, and I like to be. And when you're done reading this, they always had tidbits on the bottom of each page.
Yeah.
You literally could read it 12 times over and find new stuff every time.
And then
Uncle
come
John's-
out smarter. I
Yeah.
can quiz you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Uncle
did you
John's
know-
bathroom readers are the greatest gift to humanity.
I'm so
then maybe he needs a what's new on the Pop book.
Oh, yeah, what happened to that?
It's in the hall.
Oh, that's a good place. It's supposed to be in the bathroom.
It was in the bathroom. You never touched it
Yeah.
because you have a cell phone.
Maybe I can look it up on my cell phone.
Do you have an audio digital version?
I'm going to put a charger in there just to make her mad.
I don't want to touch pages.
There's no power outlet in there. So you
Although,
make one.
you should keep that book in there just in case toilet paper forgets to get purchased.
yeah.
You know, you never know. You might need that in a pinch.
I might.
No.
That's a good point.
Good.
Oh, come on.
If anybody has any questions, come on by Roswell. See. What's the store hours?
Store hours are Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5.
Good deal. Come on by, and if they don't have it in stock, talk to them. They can probably get it or tell you when it's going to be coming in.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people. I need this, and it's going to be coming. We got demolished this year, and I wasn't going to be making. I mean, right now, freight for us is just horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody wants to come here, and drop off because there's nothing that's leaving here.
Yeah.
So we're having a real bad time right now with freight. I'm working on it. I got some carriers lined out that they seem to be okay, but now our vendors are like, well, we don't use them. I don't care if you don't use them.
Right.
We need to because your vendors, suck.
Right.
And they're charging us so much for freight.
Well, and they got to make the most money out of it going
Right.
and coming. So if they're not making any money leaving,
Right.
then they're not as desirable to do that.
Right. And everybody think, well, this and that. We try to buy it at a really good price, and we sell it at a really good price. That's the whole point of all of this.
Right. If you guys weren't stringent about this, then you'd end up having to charge
Right.
more or even carry inferior products
Yeah.
because you settled.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I can get this at Walmart. I'll go for it.
Well, then by all means, go do what you got to do.
It sucks. Or, they'll call us. Well, what does this do? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are supposed to know. Yeah, we don't sell that product.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what it does. Give me the numbers off of it, and I'll be nice and tell you.
Look it up. but
Yeah.
We don't
So-
carry it, therefore I have no idea what that stuff.
Yeah. Or I love the people that call. We have a guy. He calls from Home Depot. Hey, I got a question. It's all like, all right, what's up, Ted? You work there, dude. I don't know if his name's Ted or not, but yeah.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
But this way, it's like even the other businesses come to us for
Yeah,
advice
they
on how to
do.
do this stuff. So,
Bad.
absolutely. But good deal. Well, don't do anything to get killed over the next couple of days because she's gonna at some point snap and just take you out.
It's awesome. We went gun shopping yesterday. Here we go.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
You're like living on the edge over here.
Dude, I miss my combat days.
He's walking
but
that
I've seen her
tightrope.
shoot, so yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
Now
I'm
you're
not
really
too worried
walking
about.
the tightrope.
I'm not too worried about it. She's kind of like an Afghani. She can't shoot very straight. Got a lot of rounds. Just
Quantity over quality.
Hell yeah. No,
Oh,
you shouldn't
deal.
have given me that stuff.
All right. Well, it is 10 o'clock. We got to go. If you missed any part of this show, ksvptv.com, you can check it out there and at your leisure. Come on by Roswell Seed, and if you don't know what you want, ask them. They will tell you. They help you with all that stuff. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow with an all-new show. Till then, take care. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com on